Oh, we're here
and we're live. We are live for Black Series Cantina Patreon intro. Always nice to be here.
Well, Kirby, mine was good. Mine was good on today. I took a nap. I was taking a nap while you guys were chatting, and it kept waking me up.
We sent like 3 messages in the chat.
Yeah. And it kept waking me up. I'm like, why I keep messaging? I'm just trying to nap before I got a podcast.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man? What's up, brother?
You know what's funny? That guy is so popular, but it's like he plays Madden, but the Madden community doesn't really follow him. But it's weird how he got so popular playing Madden, but it's like a certain type of it's really weird.
It's very weird.
It's a discussion for not this podcast, but
this is
but
the
another
wrong podcast for the discussion for sure.
But I have been playing the NCAA football game, and that's been a lot of fun. So I know Madden did just come out, but you know, we got the college game now after a decade. So who needs Madden anymore? And I've been playing with my alma mater, the Hilltoppers. So it's been fun. Been fun on that. Have you been playing any games lately?
No, yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 every day. In fact, I've been neglecting other things I should be doing, like reviewing Black Series figures and stuff, because I'm like, but I could just do my dailies and grind. I'm trying to grind all the levels up to max, all the jobs, and right now it just seems like more fun than recording videos for the internet.
I'm kind of that same way too. I'm actually so like when I've been playing the college game so much that I've noticed, because I normally like to keep some drafts on my TikTok, so whenever there's not any news or reveals or anything, I have, and if I'm like gone or whatever, I have stuff I can just post once, because I try to post once a day. I'm pretty deep in the algo right now, and I'm pretty happy with the view count, especially this past weekend. But like before that, there's a stretch where I felt like I wasn't deep in people's algorithms. But I try to post once a day, and I try to have videos in advance, you know, so I can just be sure I post every day. But lately, since all my time is playing the college game or cutting the grass, you know, whenever that comes up, like I've been recording my videos at like 11 a.m. or noon and then posting them like right away. So it's like almost like a daily thing.
Yeah. Well, and then next week the Star Wars Galaxies or Star Wars Outlaws comes out, and I'll be playing that probably.
Yeah, that looks like it could
I've
be
already,
cool.
I've already like pre-ordered it, like getting ready to go.
Get goats for the grass. I don't have that big of a yard. I mean, I have like a normal house yard, but I don't have like an acre or anything
Then
like
you
of
gotta
land.
clean up goat poop.
Yeah. You know, I do have a perfect dog for herding goats, though. I have a, Pyrenees golden mix.
No,
That's kind of like what they're made for. So protecting herds of goats from coyotes. But I don't live in an area that, if I live further south in like Shepherdsville, but goatee, no, it's not goatee. It's like,
it's just darker in the front than it is on the sides.
yeah, it comes in thinner on the cheek. So that's why it looks like it right now. But I need a good shave and haircut. It's been so long since I've done both. Working from home, it's got me struggling. Like anytime I'm like, I need a haircut. It's just so annoying but it's like, I don't have to go into the office. Like, why do I need a haircut? Just let the lettuce grow,
You gotta take care of yourself, man.
But I work from home,
You still gotta
playing
take
video
care of
games
yourself.
all day. Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it's not like I don't brush my teeth or take a shower. Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds to me like you're not brushing your teeth and taking a shower. I wasn't gonna say that, but now you're like, I don't brush my teeth or take a shower.
Still playing Battlefront, not gonna stop. Commander Cook, I think we need to still play together because we playing on PlayStation. Because I know we have three. Me, Wilbon, and Zuboy. We haven't played in a little bit, but I'm done asking Mike to be a fourth.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while. It's been a while since I played.
You've literally never played.
I mean, yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I guess that counts.
I did play. I played the Battlefront 1 when it came out in 2015. I played the original when it came out as well. But then when they redid it, they had like a demo or like an open beta weekend or something, and I played that. And that's the last time I played
The 2015 one?
the 2015 one, yeah.
2015 on the PS4 or whatever.
I don't remember what. I think I played it on my computer. I played it on PC.
Okay. So funny story about that game. I didn't have a current or that generation console, the PS4, until I saved up in college whenever they announced that game was coming out, and then they announced the pack where you could buy the PlayStation 4 and get that just for included. So that was pretty hype. So I went to midnight GameStop to pick it up, saved up the 400 or however much it was.
Yeah.
And then I called out of work that next morning or that next day. I didn't go into work and I was not going to class. But then it took so long to download the game on the apartment Wi-Fi I was living in college that I didn't even get to play for like 3 days. Yeah.
That sucks.
I know. I was so pissed.
You're all ready to play and it's like, nah.
Yeah, I didn't go to class and I didn't go to work hoping it would be done in time. And then, nope, good old college. You can make those decisions and not get fired or anything.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I have unlimited PTO, so I've taken time off just to play a video game. My boss knows that because he does the same thing. He's like whenever Destiny has an update or whatever, he's like, yeah, I got the next 2 days off. I'm just playing Destiny.
yeah, I wish whenever I worked at EY, we had unlimited PTO. They switched to that. And then like a little bit after they switched to that, I left for the smaller firm I was working for. And then like, we just need to go back to like all my time is paid time off. So if I take any time off, I still get paid for it, which is really nice. But having like, obviously it's unlimited, but as long as you don't abuse it, get your work done. And then, and if it works for the team you're working with, like that's the way companies should go, especially if you're large enough to handle the people who do take off,
Well, it's nice, like, knowing, okay, I'm going to take like 2 weeks off in Christmas, but that's not like my 2 weeks for the year. I can still have summer off, or I can still have like a random, like when I go to ICC, that's going to be like a whole week I'm not working in October.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be a fun time. ICC Con, looking forward to that. We still need to we really do need to hop on a call for tribal plans.
We
I kind
do.
of dropped the ball on that one. I told you like 2 weeks ago I would get that together, but
I mean, how many more episodes do we have until we got today? We got the 5th. We've got the 19th, and then we probably won't record the 3rd because that's going to be ICC. So we'll have to like
or
or
Live-
record live or record
live show
Yeah,
in the
we could do
hotel.
that. It depends on the Wi-Fi internet like quality.
That would be neat. Like because I think me and Wilbon on his show were talking about if we did like a hotel show with like everybody, like me, you, out of the basement, Wilbon, and his show. Like we did all three shows. Do like a live, like a recording in the hotel or something, like the night of Thursday night or whatever.
We could do like that Thursday or Friday night.
If we did that Thursday night, we could just count that. You know, we could do like 2 hours or whatever. Just throw that on the Black Series Cantina audio, and then Wilbon and Out of the Basement can post it to their channels too. And this could just kind of like a. Or if you want to do that or try to get that together, I'll reach out to Wilbon and them, and then we can.
That could be fun.
Try to do something like that. All right, because then that also gives us a little off time of doing the pod,
sure.
like little beginning of fall time off, and then
Also, if we have like a time on the podcast stage or whatever.
yes, which I'm hoping to get that still, and I don't see why they wouldn't. Like me, Out of the Basement, Lucanus, we had like the most watched non-mega celebrity show on there, so. I don't see why they would deny whenever they see the Black Series Cantina, like request again. I don't see why if they remember.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like we were literally checking out. There were like some of the Rebels crew, or was it Rebels, or who was there? But we had like more viewers than their interviews did, and I was like, holy cow, this is actually crazy. Like some of the other like some of the smaller celebrities, like we had a lot more viewers than them. Even like live, like people watching live and the replay. And that doesn't even count us including it on the audio and then all the listeners we get on the audio pod. But enough about that. We'll work on that.
We'll work that out.
Camera.
We'll workshop that, yeah.
But yeah, Kirby, live for ICC would be that would be great. It'd be a really fun time. Because also, I'm assuming we'd probably have some drinks in us. I did just go to Cincinnati, and you're allowed to buy gummies from Cincinnati if anybody partakes in those. And I bought a bunch.
I was gonna ask what's the legality of that, because I have a bunch of gummies because it's legal here.
I have a bunch. Well, I bought a 10-pack, and then me and my wife already have like another pack or whatever. But
yeah.
So, and they expire in December, so we got to use them sooner or later. So I'm assuming I'll just take them down there, hand them out to all the boys or something. Be a little good time. You get fucked up.
Baked.
Dude, no kidding. All right, since we're on the Patreon intro, I'll tell this. I just had a bachelor party for one of my absolute best friends in the world, my cousin, this past weekend. We went to Cincinnati for that. It was an amazing time, and I was baked. We went to Pep and Dolores, which is a pretty nice Italian restaurant in Cincinnati, and like we were waiting. Our reservation was at 9. It was like 8:55, and I was so baked in front of the restaurant. I was like standing in front of the restaurant. We were all standing in a circle just talking. I was like staring at my phone, but I wasn't like looking at anything. I was just zoning out. I was so out of the world. Like I didn't start like coming back down until I was like eating and like I had a drink. And that's when like once the food settled, I started like I was coming back down a little bit. It was great. It was a blast. It was a great time. But we don't need to tell any more stories.
I did. I did. I went to BotCon, TFCon, Transformers Con 2 years ago. We had a hotel we were staying at the hotel that the convention was at. I took 2 gummies and we walked around the floor for like an hour and a half. And then I just went upstairs and just fell asleep for like until like 7 or 8 o'clock that night. And then we got hammered at the bar. But I was so.
Those are the best times. Those are the best times.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, more good times to come in Nashville. in about a month and a half or whenever.
I
that
felt
is.
bad because I'm pretty sure someone, I don't know, I know I should know who this person is, but like they knew me. Like they don't know me, but like they follow my stuff, and he's like following us around, and I'm like, I wasn't like ignoring him, but I'm like walking around like just freaking high, and then I turn around and he's just gone. And, like he was following us around for like a good 15 minutes, and we were kind of talking. And I turn around and he's just not there. And I was like, did I imagine him? Like, where did he go?
He wasn't there the whole time. He's just fake.
I'm just talking to some fan.
Yeah, that sounds made up in your head. I'm not going to lie.
It does. I swear he was there. This guy was talking to me.
All right, we got to start the podcast. We got to talk about some toys now.
Do we got it?
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Wait. Wait, again. I'm sorry. I did it again.
Yeah,
I got to
okay.
turn my light on. Sorry.
Oh.
This is like 2 pods in a row. I'm sorry.
You're like making this a thing. It's two in a row.
I'm sorry.
So now there's going to be an expectation of.
Is that a little hot?
The pod.
Is that a little hot?
I mean, it's.
All right, no, we're good.
But I don't think it's
We're
too
good.
bad.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. All right, now you can start the podcast.
Well, Zach has his fancy, pretty ring light on, so he looks fancy and pretty now. So
I'm a TikToker, bro.
you are welcome
that
to
ring
Black
light.
Series. Welcome to Black Series Cantina. We are on episode 78.
And nothing to celebrate with this episode number, unlike last time when we were celebrating 77 for the Star Wars
Yeah.
beginnings.
Nothing. I mean, when was the holiday special? Was that 78? Is that 79?
Honestly, it might have 78 or 79 because it was right before Empire, right?
It's something.
Empire was 80. I think it was 78. I think it was 78.
Do we want to celebrate that? Do we want to celebrate that?
It might be best if we just don't. We can celebrate the good parts of it, like the Boba Fett is great.
Well,
the Boba Fett stuff.
Do you know what Redbox figure was 78? I do, because I looked it up.
Ooh, is it like a solo figure?
It is a solo figure.
It is a solo figure. I feel like it's that range. So it's either like Solo. I would just guess Han Solo.
It's a Han Solo.
Okay, so the solo Han Solos in the Black Series. There's the Mud Trooper one and there's the normal one.
Yep.
Is that the only two?
I think so. I think those are
since you said it's a Han Solo, I'm gonna go with the Mud Trooper Han Solo.
It's the Mud Trooper Han Solo, yeah, for sure.
Boom.
For sure.
Nice.
You got it. In pretty much, I would say that's like one solid guess that you got. You narrowed it down a little bit, but yeah.
Perfect.
Good job.
Well, yeah. It is. I don't know. Like I knew, like late red is kind of whenever the solo stuff started coming in, and 78 in the Kenner line though. Pletho brings up a good point. 70. What's 78 on the Kenner line?
I guess that's true. Well, the Kenner.
Well, I guess we could celebrate that.
That's when it came out, because it didn't come out in 77.
Interesting. All right. So, welcome to Black Series Cantina, episode 78. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We have a lot to talk about, even though there hasn't been like a ton of reveals or news or anything, but there's enough to have discussions about. So we have, I wouldn't necessarily say like a jam-packed episode, but we have a pretty good amount of stuff.
It's more of a jelly-packed episode. Not
yeah,
but it's like a jelly.
Yeah, it's like a nice, like when you go to Arby's, and they give you more roast beef than they normally do.
A little bit,
but not like a ton like it used to be. It's kind of like that.
If you get like a four McNuggets and there's a fifth one in there, and you're like, sweet.
Yep, like the 10, like the 8 count from Chick-fil-A, but they drop the 9th in there. They throw you a little bone. Yeah, it's kind of like that. We don't have a lot, but we have a nice medium, a medium nugget episode for you. Mike, do you want to jump into fine additions?
Sure.
Fine addition to my collection.
Yeah, why not? I think we both have pretty much the same one of the same ones at the very least.
Yes.
And that is the San Diego exclusive Darth Maul and Sith speeder.
Yep. I'll give you a nice hand rub there.
Thank you.
If you know, you know.
Rub that hand. I got into like a weird argument with my wife when I got this. She's like, if it's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, why did you get it from Pulse? That's not San Diego Comic-Con. I'm like, well, it was only
technically she's not wrong.
I know, but like, what are they gonna do with the ones they didn't sell? Like, it was exclusive, but then they just gonna sit on them. It's like, sorry guys, you didn't get it at Comic-Con. Sucks to be you.
It's like back in the day they used to make, and I don't know if they still do, but they would make like 200 Funko Pops.
Yeah.
And then they'd like, if you weren't the first 500 or whatever to get the 500 piece limited SDCC, no online, you had to go to eBay and pay $800.
Well, I feel like there were like the Kenner Boba Fett, like that was pretty much there, and then it was on the website, but it sold out so fast. It
went quick.
Pretty much wasn't. Yeah, it went so fast. Same thing with I think the Obi-Wan and Darth Maul episode 1 packaging. Like both of those sold out super fast. So there was a time where it was really hard to get convention exclusives, and I'm happy that those days are pretty much gone.
Yeah.
But then the only other thing I've got in the last 2 weeks is just kind of funny, because in the last episode we were talking about where's Hammerhead, where's Mamonada, and they announced it and we haven't heard anything. And I think that night I got an email saying that it was shipping, and I was like, oh, all right, what fortuitous timing. So I do have Mamonada, and I think he is going to be my next video review. I was working on one for the people like, Mike, where's your videos? You were making them, and now you're not making them anymore. I'm working on it. I was working on one for this guy right here, Darth Sidious. And honestly, the more I was talking about him and writing about him, like, it was kind of bumming me out, because I don't like him as much as I want to like him. And
that's unfortunate. I'm still like really in love with the figure, so.
But I don't know. Hammerhead's just kind of fun. He's just kind of a fun little guy. So I'll probably shelve the Darth Sidious for a little bit and just do something that brings more joy. But I also have to wrench myself away from playing video games, because that's also been taking up my time. But that's it. That's all I got in the last 2 weeks. It's been kind of toy light for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, and the same boat as you said with playing video games and pulling you away from making videos and stuff. And I'm kind of in that same boat. Like, playing the college football game has been taking up most of my time when I would normally be making like 8 TikTok drafts. Now I'm like, I need to post a video in like an hour, so I just record one real quick and post it. But like you, I did get the SDCC Darth Maul and Sith Speeder, which I really love this set. It's still available on Hasbro Pulse right now for people to go get. They sold out initially. I think they've been releasing them in waves, but it's still in stock. I really hope this doesn't hit outlet, and if it does hit outlet, I really hope it's a very limited amount. I really hope we are sending a message to Hasbro saying that we're supporting this and we want more small vehicles. And then just like the stat for what is that, PulseCon, hopefully that sells really well, and even if it hits clearance or whatever. But I feel like that one, the stat it's more apt to collectors having multiple, because it's more of an army builder than this is a very
This is
single.
You don't want an army of Darth Maul on his
and it's like
speeders,
not colored for the movie. It's like specifically a reference to the original toy. So but it's I love stuff like this, and I'm in love with it.
I just want to say, like, listen, you don't have to buy this. It's fine. But if you're like, I'm just going to wait and see if it hits, Ross or Ollie's or whatever. If we don't get more vehicles, this is why. And that's I don't want to say you're part of the problem, but that line of thinking is part of the problem. I mean, don't take it like personally or anything, but it is like.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say, like, if you're someone that says, oh, I really wish we could get small world building items, maybe smaller vehicles, and you don't buy this, it's kind of like, well, then you're just not, you're not supporting it.
You're not showing
less likelihood of them making more.
Because they're not going to make it if people aren't buying it. And I don't know. Like, I don't get the people that are like, it doesn't look exactly like the movie. Like, listen, you didn't have that complaint in 1999 when you were having fun playing with it. Like, no one cared if the Darth Maul in your hand was a perfect representation of what we had in the movie. Like, this is an homage to the toy. It's what they were going for. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's a nostalgia release.
Yeah.
It's fighting on nostalgia. And I personally, I think they'll release another one. I know you were kind of on the other side of the fence to that.
I don't think they will, especially not if people aren't buying this one.
I mean, you got a point there. People do have to buy it for them.
Yeah.
But maybe if they already have the mold and they'll say, well, to justify the cost, let's do it again.
Well, no, because then it still costs money to make it. If people don't buy that one either, they're just spending money, and it devalues the line having them hit. So no, I don't think that just because they have the mold, it's not like it's free to produce toys. Like, it costs money to run the materials and the labor.
You're starting to sound like Chris now, and I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
All right, moving on with my fine additions. So we kind of have a similar theme. We both have the Darth Maul and a Cantina alien, but mine's a different Cantina alien. This is the Kenner Garrido. So Will Bond initially gave this idea to me quite a while ago, and then I never picked it. I haven't picked it up yet, but until now, it's like $31 on Amazon. But I just typed it in on eBay, and the first listing I saw was $20 free shipping. And I was like, yep, sold. So I bought
That's
it.
cheaper than it retail for.
Yeah, and the guy shipped it in the original Hasbro shipper inside of a giant box. So I know whoever sent this to me paid like $8 to ship it.
Oh,
which I kind of want to find the guy who sent it to me. Like, let me send you $5 extra. Yeah, I know you didn't come this close to the green, on this figure. So, like, you kind of like with the way the shipping quality, he kind of deserves it. So, or whoever sent it deserves it. But yeah, and the reason I bought it is I'm not keeping this on card. This is a perfect extra Cantina alien for the Cantina, and I need to pack the new Lane Speeder Luke Cantina that I've printed. So I have pretty much most of that finished printing. I just have to put the tubes and the cups. I just printed all those in white because I'm just gonna paint the tubes to whatever color I want, and then all the little pipes and cups and all that. So I just need to finish painting that, and it'll be done.
I wonder what that Greta would look like with like Han Solo's vest on or something.
Yeah, so I'll experiment with some things because Lane 3 Luke and our text chat gave me the idea to put a cape on him to make it stand out a little bit. Yeah, he said put a cape on it, yeah. I'll probably also try to hit him with a little bit of a dark wash, like on the chest and legs, because he's so bright, and I feel like that aesthetic isn't necessarily fit in the Cantina.
I mean, it works as an homage to the original Kenner figure, because that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like actually in the Cantina, he's just so bright.
The Hammerhead, I want them to do this, but with the with the blue outfit that he had with the toy. Like the Kenner version of this figure, I would 100% buy it. I also have low key been looking for the Power of the Force 2 figure to get his gun, because Robo posted him with pictures of him holding the Power of the Force 2 blaster, because he came with like this giant ass like double barrel blaster for absolutely no reason. Like, there was no reason for Hasbro to go that hard with that figure in 1997 or whatever, when that figure came out. It was like 96, 97, but they did. And now, like, the fact that this one doesn't come with a blaster, like, it comes with a Stormtrooper blaster, which is nice, I guess. But like, he deserves to have that giant ass
the double barrel blaster thing. Yeah. On Wilbon also got the Power of the Force figure just for that, and it looks really awesome. On
eBay, I found a couple for around like $10 or so, and I even at $10, I'm like, I don't want to spend.
Well, it'll be different. Hold off.
On that. Yeah.
Hold off, because I guarantee you'll be able to find it at ICC Con.
Oh, that's probably good. So what I did do is, this is a fun story, but real quick, I broke my phone yesterday.
Oh, no.
I dropped it when I was filming some stuff for work. And so I took it to the Apple store, which is I used to work there. So it was kind of fun going in and saying hi to people. They're like, why are you here? But there's a comic store in that mall. And I know they had at one time just a giant wall of old Power of the Force 2 figures and Episode 1 figures and stuff like that. And I went in, and nope, they didn't have anything that I was looking for there. So it was kind of But also they were
Damn.
pricing him at like $15. I'm like, that's too much for these old figures. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, at ICCCon, you'll be able to haggle people down. If they have a list of
Probably,
12, you can offer 8 or 10 or something. And plus, while you're there, it's kind of okay to overpay for stuff in person. It's a little easier than it is online, I feel like, when you're in there and you have $200
to the person. Like, here's a $5. That's what this is worth.
Exactly. Yeah. And especially on like the last 2 days.
You can keep the figure. I'm going to throw the figure away. I just want the blaster.
You should buy it for 10 and then take the blaster and then walk back up to the guy and say, hey, I'll sell you the figure for 5. And you can resell that for like 8.
I don't even care.
Right? Yeah. Or like just
That's
give
a good
somebody
idea.
for like
I probably
$1 or
will find
something.
it at ICC.
Yeah. There's because they have a lot of carded stuff and there's some good amount of booths. The best booths are the one that have figures in box and then they have the bins on bottom of just a bunch of loose stuff.
Just loose stuff. Yeah.
You can find really good stuff in those, especially if you need a figure.
That's what I'll be on the lookout for when I go, is that blaster.
Now, I guess we can kind of talk about not a fine edition because obviously I don't have it, but a potential edition because I've said on this pod, I think, and recently that I plan on picking up or at least trying to buy the snow speeder at ICCCon.
Yep.
But today on eBay, there's one for $150 new shipped, and every other one is like $180 plus shipping, $200 plus shipping. So $150 new in box, hasn't been opened. A couple dings on the packaging, but who cares?
Who cares?
$150 shipped.
Honestly, it's about how much it was after tax. It was $120 plus tax.
So
like, it's a little bit more, but that's fine.
Pipeline editions. I love this.
Pipeline
I love
editions.
It. So like, I'm kind of in a dilemma. I kind of want to hunt for it at the con because it sounds fun and I'd be able to do it for TikTok content and all of that sort of thing. But, or to just buy it now, you know what I mean? And get a better deal on it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
What if you could have gotten it for like $100 loose at the con? But then I feel like, I don't know. Like,
I want to open the box.
That was going to say that's a different experience opening it up and like putting it together and knowing
also, like,
that you're the only owner.
Yeah.
I guess someone else has been the owner technically, but you are the person that opened it up.
Of the actual toy, yeah.
Of the actual toy, yeah.
But also like with opening it, you know, that's just extra content for the TikTok. So I do the opening videos and it'd be better than just like setting the snow speeder down and being like, but at the end of the day, it's just going to go on my shelf and hopefully, I know Link to Luke just dropped that really amazing. Has he released it or has it only shown us? Whoops, I don't know. I don't know if he posted that one. I don't know if he posted. You know what? I got to go to Instagram to see if
we know a lot of stuff that Lance Meter Luke's working on because he's always dropping stuff in our chats, and I never comment on it because like I'm never sure what's public and what's not.
Okay, he did post it. He posted that. Okay, he did post that. It's like the bridge that you can put the snow speeder under and have people, Hall troopers, like working on it and stuff. So I might do that for that, but I also kind of like the idea of just having that bridge and having like some Imperial troops, or even like you could take that bridge and put like Darth Vader fighting Luke on it, like anything. You could literally do anything.
Yeah.
A prequel lightsaber fight if it's like all Star Wars. So, but yeah. So that's something I hope to get, and that'd be a pretty big addition to the collection. But we can move on from fine editions. That's all I had, and
finally,
I know, right? Hey, it's not the longest fine edition segment we've had.
Oh, it's one of the shortest. It's fine.
Have we ever had a segment where neither of us had a pickup? I don't know. Maybe like one, twice, maybe one or two.
I mean, statistically, we have to have at some point.
I guess so.
78 episodes.
Yeah. True. Whenever I do the full re-listen, I'll let us know. Whenever that'll be, who knows?
Good luck.
And you know, I listened to every one of our podcasts up until like episode 64 or something, and then I'll listen to the beginning of them, and I just like never.
A big drop in audio listenership once we hit about that episode. So.
Oh yeah, I'm the only one. It was all me.
It's you.
It was all me. Yeah, it was all me. Yep. All right, listener emails. So let's see. We have Edmund Lee. So before we jump into emails, if you want to send us an email, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. Please keep the segment alive. So thank you all for sending in emails. Edmund Lee says, hi guys, if your house is on fire and you can only grab 3 to 5 figures you own that are Star Wars Black Series, what would you take? And then Edmund says, P.S. Hope you never have to be in that situation. Just saying. I also hope neither of us have to be in that situation. But if I had to pick 3 to 5 figures, like just figures or like in box autos, because obviously I would grab the Hayden auto Darth Vader, the carded Emperor, Ian McDermott autograph. I have the blue autograph, but I'd probably grab some other things first, since I have the carded one, just to make the segment more fun. I'd probably also grab the SDCC 2019 Boba Fett. And then I don't know if like 3D prints count. I would love to grab the Hoth turret, because that was kind of a bitch. Whoops. Bleep that out. That came out a little aggressive, more aggressive than it should have while we're on the podcast.
I'm leaving that in.
That was a pain to print, and I did not enjoy the process of printing that. So I would probably grab that, and that doesn't count as a figure, and then maybe like I feel like I don't know if I'd have time to grab any other 3D prints, so it'd have to be like the other Dual Zen Vader, like my intact Dual Zen Vaders. Oh wait, nope, I know it is. It's Force Ghost. Hayden Christensen would be the last one I grab. Force Ghost Anakin. Yep. That I can't let it burn. That'd have to be it.
Sure.
All right, you're up. What are your 3 to 5 figures that you'd grab?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I made a YouTube video on this back in like 2017 or 2018, because this is a very real thing for me, because in California we have earthquakes and we have wildfires, and there have been a couple times where like wildfires have been too close for comfort, and I think
I can imagine. Yeah.
My freshman year in high school, so it was like 96, we had a fire that came right across the street from our house, where we got evacuated, and like my mom's like, put a bunch of clothes in a bag, we have to leave. And instead of putting clothes in a bag, I literally put every Star Wars figure I owned in a bag. She was so mad at me. She's like, if our house had burned down, you would only be wearing Star Wars toys.
Yeah, just tape them on. That's awesome.
Strategically covering my body. No, but so I've thought about this a lot, and honestly, I think the only one I would grab is my Kenner Boba Fett, because of who gave that to me and when is a little sentimental. But I don't think there's anything that's not replaceable in the Black Series.
Yeah.
That
would be too expensive. Yeah. Like you could always, like, even though it'd be expensive, you could rebuy the Shadow Squadron, and it'd set you back $150. But at the same time,
and I've got insurance, so I mean, obviously, for the sake of the question, if this were a thing and I were running out, if they have to be Black Series, because there are probably other toys I would buy, I would grab, over Black Series that I own, because I own a lot of different stuff. But if I have to keep it to Black Series, I'd just like saying like these are the ones I like the most. I'd probably do that Kenner Boba Fett for sure. That's the first one I would grab. I'd probably do. Oh man, I don't know. I kind of see. I'd probably do the Clone Wars, 2008 Clone Wars, Obi-Wan and Anakin, and Padawan Ahsoka.
Wait, did you say 2008 Clone Wars? Oh,
yeah.
No, sorry, I was thinking of the one you hate.
The CGI one.
The good one. The good one. Yeah,
the good one.
The good one.
Because those are a little harder to replace. And then I would probably grab the ESB Darth Vader, because I like me a Darth Vader. And I think if I had like those figures, I'd lost the rest, but like that's a good set of figures right there.
Honestly, this might be kind of a hot.
And I don't know, I might grab
Hammerhead
because Mamo Nadon, like he was my first. The Hammerhead was my first figure that I ever got Star Wars, the vintage one. I remember my grandpa ran a homeless shelter, and occasionally when I was there with him, like he was like watching us or we were visiting or whatever, he would let me look through the toy donations and take a toy. And it was always just like piles of like loose figures and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
there's a hammerhead there, and I was like, this guy looks cool. Had no idea who he was. Didn't even like Star Wars. I was literally like maybe 4 or 5. Like it was one of my earliest memories. Like everything's still a little hazy in that memory because I didn't have like full consciousness. But I'm like, this guy looks cool. I thought he was ET when I grabbed him because he kind of looks a little ET, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was my first Star Wars figure. So that's a little
Yeah, true.
sentimental.
Honestly, this might be a little bit of a hot take, but if you know, maybe like the Veals Toy Store Wolfpack clones, because those are sold out. They're the best ones.
No, you're right.
They're the best ones they've made. They're amazing, and
save
you can't buy them again unless somebody's posting them on eBay.
It's
But
true.
you can't buy them from Veals Toy Store. They've been sold out for a long time. I don't think they're coming back. I would love for them to do them on the 3.0 body, but those things are, so I might have to grab those. But obviously, if it were only like if I could open it up to everything, you know, some of the SD, like the Gohan and Goku SDCC set,
Yeah.
or whatever con that was.
Honestly,
like,
I'd probably grab some Hot Toys before I grab Black Series.
yeah. So some of that stuff, yeah. The Vader, the
Yeah,
dual end, the Vader
the
from
dual
Kenobi.
end Vader from Hot Toys. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff would be.
That's sitting right here on my desk. Like it has not left my desk. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's still in the packaging for me. I opened it and I put it back in the packaging. I haven't displayed it.
Lame.
Look, I'm in a little bit of a rut with the collecting room right now. I'm in a battle, so I'm like at a stalemate with how I want to display my figures, and it's just got me in this like. And now that college football game is taking up all my time, it's really got me like stuck in the mud with displaying my figures right now. But I also did want to say I would also really like to grab my childhood Anakin lightsaber, you know, those plastic ones that you hold the button down,
Yeah.
and you like pop it out and the blade comes out, and they're all like intertubed with each other. The blade is, and that like because that has all like the markings from like battling my cousins and friends as kids, you know.
Yeah, it's got story. Yeah.
That's got like that's literally my childhood. It sits right down there on that shelf, and I can just see all the battle markings on it. So that's like one of the most sentimental items in my collection. So, all right, moving on to the next email. Edmund, thank you for sending in that
great
email.
question. Thanks.
Yep, fabulous. And this is from Commander Cook. Hey guys, hoping to overdo the segment. Hey, please don't. We definitely need the emails.
No. Yeah. Every if you send us an email every time, specifically
Yes.
you. we
Yes,
will read
please do. And he says, but I thought I would ask, what's your favorite movie? Whether that means Star Wars or not. If I had to choose, it would be The Batman 2022. That's a great film. I loved that one. I love the realism of that movie with how it shows Batman in a worn out fighting crime, and the Riddler is sort of a psychopathic killer character, and how they showed the military at the end coming to aid. So that, I really did enjoy that movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie. Star Wars, it's definitely Empire Strikes Back. It's
Yeah, for sure.
Empire's probably my overall favorite movie, but if I had to pick a non-Star Wars movie, that's really tough. I feel like there's a couple. I've never thought about my favorite non-Star Wars movie, if I'm being honest. I really like, Inglourious Bastards is amazing.
It's a good movie.
What's that other movie I really like? It's kind of a really slow movie, but I think it's a Quentin Tarantino movie where they just sit in a cabin the whole time. That's really good. The Hateful Eight is pretty good. Django's really good. Everybody's saying Lord of the Rings now, which I'm sorry to report, I still have yet to see Lord of the Rings. If I started Lord of the Rings last podcast, I would still be sitting through them.
Oh my God. No, you wouldn't.
I would still be watching the first movie, I'm sure.
Lord of the Rings is my answer because I'm counting it all as one movie because it's all one story.
Well, that's like saying Star Wars is...
No. They filmed all these movies at the same time and released them a year apart from each other. It's one story. They're just, if they could have made it one long movie called Lord of the Rings, they would. But no one wants to sit through 12 hours of movie at once. I can't even do that, and I love them. It is one book. Well, it's technically 6 books in 3 volumes in one book. It's really weird. It's kind of like how the
That's true.
Bible's one book and then also like 60 something books at the same time. But yeah, definitely Lord of the Rings.
Lord is your favorite non-Star Wars?
Oh man, I love Lord of the Rings. So good. And it's aged well for being like a 25-year-old movie at this point, 24-year-old movie, whatever series.
Say I read the books.
He's not read the books. If he had read the books, he would have watched the movie. Because there's no way you can read those books and be like, man,
And
they
not
made a
watch the
movie out of
movie?
these? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, reading the books would take longer.
I mean,
There's no way.
That's actually true.
There's no way.
Well, it's because Pletho says the CGI is tasteful AF, but it's also because they did a good mixture between practical and CGI. Like they used a lot of forced perspective mixed with CGI, so it's not just purely CGI in there. Like there's a scenes where like Frodo, who's a hobbit, he's really short, is sitting next to Gandalf, and they're on the same wagon, but they're not really. It's like they filmed it in a way where it looks like they're on the same wagon. So it's good. I like it.
Yeah, true. But
So we're just
maybe
gonna
we'll
bring that
see.
up every episode until
Until I watch it.
Until you watch
Yeah.
it.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's gonna be a long time. We'll see. Maybe we can do our whenever. You know how pre-show we were talking about if we want to do a live show for ICC Con. Maybe it'll just be a live watch through. Like I'm handcuffed to a chair and y'all are forcing me to watch Lord of the
No,
Rings.
here's what that's what we'll do. Is we'll prop your eyes open. We'll do this Clockwork Orange style.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, I'm gonna have a
sounds
good time.
I bet you would. All right, just give me like 4 gummies and I'll have a great
Okay,
time
sounds good.
watching. But yeah.
What's the next email?
All right, so the next email is by Monkey Brown. So
Monkey Brown.
very cool name. I don't necessarily want to read this entire email. I really appreciate this individual sending the email, but it is a very long email. It's from Chris Carlson, aka the Left-Handed Jedi. So I'll read a little bit of it, and then I think there's a paragraph in the middle that makes sense for me to read, but I don't want to read the whole thing. So, hi, Mike and Zach. I'm a longtime listener and a big fan of the show. I wanted to share some thoughts about the HasLab Rancor project and how much it meant to be as both a fan and a collector. So, appreciate you listening to the podcast. We appreciate you as well for being a longtime listener and the email. So let's see. And then this is the email or the paragraph I want to read. It says, as a dedicated Black Series collector, I believe HasLab still has a Rancor size problem. Many of us truly wanted that Rancor and are still eager for another legitimate chance to bring it home. Instead of speculating on what the next HasLab project should be, a lot of us just want the HasLab or the Rancor to get a second shot. Perhaps this time, Hasbro could do it right. Maybe with the Book of Boba Fett version featuring a new Boba figure and a Danny Trejo Rancor keeper. If including Ula is a sticking point, this could be a solid alternative that appeals to the fans. Additionally, offering more flexible payment plans, similar to what was done with the Cantina project, might help make it more accessible to collectors who were on the fence the first time around. So me and Mike both agree the Rancor should absolutely 100% get another chance. Hopefully that I don't think it's fully out of the realm, but I feel like the odds are probably pretty slim. During this is another good paragraph to read. This is during that time, my mother was in the final stages of lymphoma. Hopefully, thoughts and prayers. Hopefully that's all squared away. And the world is still navigating the challenges of the pandemic. With 3 children of my own, it was hard to justify nearly $600 Canadian investment, even though I hinted to it about my wife almost every night. The timing, so close to Christmas, alongside multiple other HasLab projects, made it even more challenging for many collectors like myself. Yeah, we've talked about the marketing. The timing of it was brutal on collectors, given that it was Christmas, like holiday season, like right after, or it was right around Black Friday or right before the holidays, and had 2 other HasLabs going at the same time. Just absolutely brutal. And we appreciate you bringing up the Rancor because that hits our quota for the podcast. And
Yeah, we always have to talk about it
raging.
once an episode. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
It gets us raging about it. So
yeah.
Mike, what are your thoughts? Do you think they should bring back? I know you think they should, but like, what percent of chance would you give it that they actually do bring it back?
I mean, I think they're going to stick to their guns, honestly. If they're like, no, this is the only time you get, like, it sucks because I genuinely think that they're like, hey, we're going to offer this. It's the only time we're going to do it, but we're going to mess it up. You know, like they're the ones that I feel like dropped the ball, not us a little bit on there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll get another whack at the Rancor, unfortunately, as much as I would want to, and as much as I would back it. Like, I don't see us. I think they'll try something else. I don't think they'll try the Rancor again.
Yeah, I feel like we would have to successfully back a different HasLab before they thought about doing it again.
I agree with. Yeah, for sure.
And if they did a 6-inch scale Black Series HasLab and it doesn't back again, I think we're totally cooked. Like, I think it's totally, like, probably just never again at that point.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, though. You know, we'll see. So thank you all for the emails. Be sure, if you have a comment about anything or a question, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. First-time emailers, we would love if you shoot us an email and get a question in, or gives us topics to discuss on the show. So we have some cool news. Our birthday podcast will be in September. We do the birthday show and we allow Patreon members to join us for the entire episode, like one at a time usually. That will either be September 20th or 21st, that Friday or Saturday night. We'll announce that. Hopefully we have a date locked down during our next podcast, which we'll be recording on September 12th, that Thursday. So expect that episode that weekend to drop on the 14th of September. The 5th. We're recording the 5th of September. I was looking at the week wrong. Yeah, the 5th of September. That episode will drop the 7th. Then the 19th or like 20th, 21st. But we'll announce it on our next podcast. So any Patreon member, you can join us for the show one at a time. We'll try to start it at a good time for everyone or whatever. Maybe the 8 p.m. Eastern. But me and Mike will lock that down, and then we'll announce it next pod. If you want to know how they work, you can go back to our other previous birthday pods. They're usually in the middle of September sometime. They're not hard to find because I think they all say birthday or celebration or something in the show title. And if that sounds interesting to you and you want to join the Patreon, we have a tier for every budget, $2, $5, like $11.38 for the Star Wars reference. It's $11.38, not $11.38. And then we have a $25 tier, and we have a Black Series Cantina VIP Deluxe open if anybody wants to jump on that, maybe for 1 month and then hop off and somebody else can do it. That is available. And if you're a Patreon member, you get access to the Patreon intro, which Mike and I talked about some pretty fun things on this Patreon intro, which was pretty neat. So
little risque things that might get us a little bit of a different rating on podcasting services. So that's staying in the Patreon intro.
Yes. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can get access to that for just $2 a month. We're also going to be doing this Saturday. We have a Black Series Cantina VIP hangout, happy hour, whatever you want to call it, with our Black Series Cantina VIPs on Patreon. If you want to join live in the chat for those, every level of Patreon gets access to those, and we talk about the figures. They get to give their insights on the podcast and Hasbro and just everything we want to talk about. So if that sounds good to you, Black Series or patreon.com/Black Series Cantina. But now let's, what do you say we jump into the news? We have a little bit to talk about.
Finally, yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into the good stuff.
Yeah,
let's start the podcast now.
Yeah, start the podcast. So Sideshow is announcing a limited run of Tatooine Cantina aliens, which is amazing because remember whenever we had Yak Face on, he kind of told us something that I never really considered in my head. Like, it just seemed so obvious, but we never really considered it. That whenever you can just look at what another company does, and of course Lucasfilm has to approve that, which means they're open to approving that for toy companies. So could this be really good news for more Cantina aliens for the hashtag? What is it? Back to Tatooine.
Return to Tatooine.
Return to Tatooine.
Something like that. Yeah.
And they're revealing some pretty cool stuff. So hopefully we can get that stuff in Black Series.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. Obviously we have some pipelines for it already, which is nice. So hopefully, I mean, if that's as good as like the prequels beat or whatever has been this year, I feel like we're in for a good time, because it hasn't been a ton of prequel stuff. The majority of what we've gotten this year has been prequels related.
Yeah, it's like been more than normal.
Yeah, for sure.
And then here it is. Like this is a full lineup, and then we got some shadow cast back there. So, very cool. The Garandin would be so sick, and I've always called him the Devil Man. Would be so good. To
me, it looks like the shadows back there are more like Jabba's palette.
Jabba. Yeah.
Because that's definitely Tessic Corrin back there. Definitely like a weak way. Skiff Guard. And Bib Fortuna is right behind.
So Greedo. Tatooine, that's still Jabba, so they'll do maybe a Cantina.
That is still Tatooine. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting.
But yeah, there are definitely some figures in this little these are 1/6 scale figures, but we got Ponda Baba, Dr. Avazon,
Greedo,
the other two, the Garindin, and then I think his name is Labria. He's the
I've always called him Devil Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be so sick as Black Series figures.
Like, for sure. Yeah,
especially now that Lane Speeder Luke dropped the new and improved Cantina.
For sure. Yeah.
And then we already got those middle 3 in Black Series. So, but it seems like we're getting like one Cantina alien a year at this point now.
Hold on. You know what's kind of funny?
What?
So Ponda Baba, Walrus Man here. In the movie, he's shown with both flipper hands and regular hands. And over the course of the years, they've headcanoned whatever, retcon the fact that his hands maybe can turn into flippers or something. I don't know how they have overcome this issue.
Mm-hmm.
But if that had happened now, people would just be complaining, like, how can they do this? How can they miss something so simple? Why does he have flipper hands in one scene and regular hands in the other scene? Oh my God, they just don't care.
Yeah.
George Lucas didn't care. Not to that level. It's like, who cares? Anyway. It's just one of those things, like, people just take this way too seriously.
Which do you prefer? Flippers or the normal? I'm in the same boat, yeah. I would love to have the flipper hands.
Yeah.
I like that I have the flipper hands.
Yeah, I like having the option. I like that I have the version with flipper hands that came with the Cantina. But yeah, I definitely don't, it's not necessary. I prefer regular hands.
Yeah. And then moving on, we have... So Yakface reported that the Yoda and Greed 2-pack is arriving in the U.S., so that's really good news for those who don't have it on pre-order, that hopefully Disney or the Disney Shop Disney or whatever it is gets that posted in stock.
This will be easy to get. This will be like the Mace, once it hit, like whether on Pulse or on Shop Disney, if you go to the Disney park, apparently they're just there, like easy, all over the place. Yeah. But I don't think, if you're worried about this or mad at Hasbro or whatever, it's not worth it. It'll be easy to get. I do have a couple on pre-order that I think I may have like 1 or 2 that are unclaimed. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I got the full 5. So
hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll take 4 of them.
and I'll be requesting that money when I get them.
I can send you the money right now.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that afterwards.
I can send it in advance, but
I'll wait for it. Like, I haven't been charged yet. I just want to,
Yeah, I'll give you the shipping amount too, and
Oh, I wasn't even
maybe.
gonna charge you shipping because like I feel like that's weird, but it's
Oh,
fine.
true.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
I don't know. I feel like this might be good podcast content. We negotiate the details on the podcast.
You want to negotiate the deals live on the podcast? Like, do people care about how much you're gonna buy this from me?
I gotta haggle you down like 4 cents, or I gotta
No
save
way.
I gotta save on the edges.
Now I'm going up 4 cents. I want that extra 4 cents. I'm gonna make a 4 cent profit off of you. I'm now a scalper.
Well, now your back's against the wall because if I just say I don't want it anymore, you're down $55 or whatever.
I mean, I'm sure I could sell them at price. I would never sell them for more than price.
That's true. That's true. See, I guess it is my back against the wall because I don't have it coming to my house from Hasbro like you do. So, So I guess I am the desperate one. So apparently, moving on, Yak Faced. I guess he noticed that the shoulder of the Deidre figure kind of looks like a Krennic cape.
It does,
which is pretty neat. So hopefully that's a new, an all new sculpt. But I wouldn't.
Part of me wouldn't be surprised if it's the same figure but with the updated face. Part of me wouldn't be surprised.
That's kind of what I'm expecting, honestly. I don't know if they'd have to do too much new tooling, but they could probably use the same sculpt, and I almost guarantee they'll just use the same old sculpt and then just try to do the better paint. But it's not an archive figure, so
true.
Maybe there's a chance we can get at least some new, actual new sculpting.
I would be happy if it just had a better face, honestly. Like if it had the digital face printing. Like,
yeah, I feel like the legs on that one still suck.
Sure, and I don't love the cape, and like it would be better if it were better, but like,
what if he's got soft goods this time?
I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess time will tell. Time will tell, but expect soon. If this even is Krennic, this could be one of the other white. That's it.
True.
That looks like it could also be like a shoulder pauldron.
No, it's got to be Krennic.
You think so?
Krennic. Yeah, it's good.
I hope
they're
so.
definitely, because he's got to be in the next season of Andor.
Yeah, and he was in the leaked.
He was in the leaked
trailer.
Yeah.
Which is dumb why they didn't just reveal. Everybody's seen it anyways on Twitter.
I don't like that.
It's the dumbest thing in the world.
Trailer, like it's everywhere. You could just go watch it. Still.
Exactly. Yeah. So now we're gonna jump to some big news out of Star Wars. The Acolyte was officially canceled. I think the Deadline reported that first, and they are very reputable. Yeah.
People also reached out just to verify, and so I guess the official word, and I think this is splitting hairs, that it was never officially not renewed, but it was never a second season was never officially greenlit. So saying it's canceled isn't accurate because it would have to have been greenlit to be canceled. But there's a lot of people saying that they were shopping around and they were working towards a second season. So
yeah, well, I feel like the difference is with Boba Fett. Yeah, they never acknowledged it. Right. But this is so soon after to be we are not doing one. It feels like they just axed it. That was originally supposed to be a limited series. Right.
Well, no one ever talked about a season 2 until I think Ewan McGregor was like, yeah, I would love a season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. But at least that was pitched as a 1 season limited series. And if you look at the Blu-ray cover for that, it says it says the entire series. Yeah. Or the complete series. Or
I'm pretty sure those were all both of those shows, Boba Fett and
was Boba Fett pitched as limited? I don't remember it being pitched as limited.
I'm pretty sure they both
it might have been because it was only a couple episodes or whatever. Yeah. So,
and I kind of see Boba Fett as Mandalorian as a Mandalorian season. Let's be honest, it's a Mandalorian season that just doesn't focus mostly on Mandalorian. Yeah. I know it's got
Mandalorian 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mandalorian 2.5. Yeah. It's made by the same people, starring a lot of the same people, made by the same crew. It's
yeah, and also the difference is the Acolyte creators clearly made that season to lead into new, like,
Yeah.
lead into Chimere and the future of the twin stories and Vanessa Rose future story.
Yep.
And like they clearly intended to be able to wrap up storylines in season 2, and now that it's only a 1-season thing, it almost, I know a lot of people said it was like absolute trash, but I feel like that almost retroactively makes it worse now because there's so many loose threads, which is really unfortunate. So what are your thoughts on probably Disney axing the Acolyte?
Well, so like there's, I don't think it's good for either side, really. Like the people that liked it, like me, I didn't love it, but I liked it. It wasn't like my favorite Star Wars thing, and I fully acknowledge it has a lot of legitimate issues that I feel like they could have fixed in a second season. Like they could have learned from those and made it better, which would retroactively make the first season better for a lot of people. Like there's things you can do. But now that they've canceled it, the people that were rooting for it, that were excited about it, that were like, yeah, they now feel slighted and like they don't want to put that much emotion into liking something. Like they don't want to invest themselves into something in the future knowing that it might get canceled. Like what's the point if something I like is going to get canceled? But then the people, I feel like the people that hate it, and that if, let's be frank, I mean, they're again, just if you don't like it, that's fine. But there are people that were against this show before it even aired. And these are the people I'm talking about. Like before.
Yeah, it's people without constructive criticism. It's,
correct. The people that decided not to like the show before they even could watch the show. These people now feel vindicated. Like,
yeah. And that's like the unfortunate part in my opinion.
And that's also unfortunate, yes. And it's not canceled for any of that reason. Like I'm saying, the show had legitimate problems, but no one could have known what those problems were before watching it. But the people that were review bombing or making bots to review bomb and just almost just like looking for reasons to hate it, like nitpicking just the dumbest stuff just so they could justify not liking it. Like that's what I didn't like, and I feel like now they feel justified in that, like they've won, and that sucks because there are a lot of great things that I liked about the show. The lightsaber fights were fantastic. Anything with the stranger Chimere, like that, loved all of that. There's a lot of stuff that I did like, but there was stuff that I didn't like. I made a post on now that we're not getting a second season, I was like, so why did Basil sabotage the ship in the last episode? Like why did he do that? Like I don't know. I had no idea. It seems so out of character why Basil was like, oh, I'm on Soul's side, but now I'm gonna sabotage the ship because I don't want him chasing. Like why? Well, like what's going on? I never, there's a lot of questions.
Yeah, that literally makes no sense because I feel like I've seen the argument where people are like, oh, well, he wanted him to like land and not keep chasing. Like, oh, so you're gonna make him crash into the planet?
Yeah, you make him
How's that any safer? How is that any safer?
And that's the thing is it's not. So there, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of motivation issues. Again, it had legitimate issues, but a lot of that stuff, he's chaotic neutral. That's 100% true.
Yeah.
Sure. A lot of that stuff, like, you can look at a lot of things. Star Trek: The Next Generation, season 1, historically just bad. It's not good. It's not a good show. It was weird. It was kind of boring in places. And even for the people like, oh, I hate woke, in Star Trek season 1, there were guys and girls all wearing the same short miniskirt, like option. You tell me that's not woke? You're gonna have boys in miniskirts? Like that's woke right there. So like if that happened today, they wouldn't be like, no, we have to fix these issues for season 2 and make it something people want to watch. They'll be like, no, we're just going to cancel it, or Clone Wars season 1, or even the movie. Bad. Like people did not like it. You cannot rewrite history. I was there. Don't cite the deep magic to me. I was there when it was written.
That's my favorite Lord of the Rings quote.
It's a Chronicles of Narnia quote, but J.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis were really good friends. And I've been to the pub where they met in their book club, the Inklings. And I've been drunk there, and I went to the bathroom in the same bathroom that they went in, and I got a condom from the same condom distribution machine.
Oh, really?
That C.S. Lewis got condoms from. I don't know. Anyways, there's just a lot of issues that I feel like canceling it was the worst decision all around. Like there's no positive to canceling the Acolyte. They should have done just gone about a different way. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty unfortunate because season 2 seemed like season 1 set up season 2 in a way that seems a lot more interesting than what season 1 was for me.
So interesting.
Yeah, like it's almost to the point now where I wish season 1, like the entirety of season 1 was an email. like a comic book,
like a
and then yes, or like the beginning episode or the first 2 episodes, and then season like what the story we would have gotten with Plagueis and Chimere, training is, I guess it's OSHA. That is a lot more interesting than I think what we got, and then. So that's kind of unfortunate. So I'm kind of hoping maybe we can get like a Chimere specific show. So it's not the Acolyte, but it's
a Star Wars story.
The Stranger, or like something that follows Plagueis, so we can still get Chimere and Plagueis, because what they pitched this as was a story from the Sith's point of view, and it didn't become that until the very last episode.
Yeah.
So we did not get that. We got this teen sister drama, which it was fine. Like, I don't think it was great. I don't think it was legendary bad like a lot of people do. Like, it was fine, but season 2 seemed like it had a lot more interesting of a premise for a Star Wars show. Because we got Yoda involved now. We have Jedi. We have
do like that.
Plagueis.
It's like, now I'm never going to find out who this guy was.
That's my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite. He looks like a wise Jedi, Should have got more of that guy, the alien at the end.
That have come from it.
Yeah. But it is unfortunate. And also, so Yakface kind of started the hashtag Save the Stranger because I wonder what's going to happen with how many more figures we are going to get from the Acolyte. And I got to say, if I'm Hasbro, I am absolutely pissed off at Disney and Lucasfilm for probably because Hasbro's probably sitting there saying a lot of your new media isn't the most popular stuff. And if you're going to force us to make, how many Acolyte figures? 9 or whatever it is, like so fast. Yeah. Like this brand new figure, like if you're going to make us do all these figures and then you just cancel it. So now we have Holocom figures of May and OSHA.
Not even out yet.
Pre-order. Yeah. And the show's canceled. We have that stuff on pre-order.
Well,
we have figures on pre-order and it's already canceled.
The show's still
it's
there.
Insane.
They knock on wood. They haven't taken it off Disney Plus. It's still canon.
Yeah. But it's such a big PR hit of it being canceled.
No,
so if I'm Hasbro, I am heated.
Yeah, I am a little worried about them removing it from Disney Plus. I mean, they did that with Willow, where people didn't like or weren't watching it so much they just removed it from the platform. I don't think they'll do that. I know for a while, if you searched on Shop Disney, there wasn't any Acolyte merchandise on there, but I think they fixed it or they re-added it or something in the last couple hours. But I feel like no matter what, those people that hated the Acolyte, it's still canon. And all those things they hate that it did, it's still there. So you might be happy that there isn't going to be a season 2. But season 1 still happened.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do think it's a little unfortunate because season 2 seemed a lot more interesting, and Hasbro's got to be heated. I know later on we're going to talk about all the figures in the Black Series and all that. So But yeah, we definitely need a Stranger and Plagueis, and hopefully Plagueis pops up in something else coming soon. But I feel like we still need a Plagueis.
Well, they said they were going to continue a lot of the stuff in like comics and books and whatnot, which is fine. But like most people don't read that stuff. Like the High Republic is still going to be a thing. Like that's not going away just because the Acolyte got canceled. But like continuing it only in a book just is going to put it back into the relative obscurity of what it already was before this. For a lot of people, this was their first introduction to the High Republic because they never bothered to like read the books or look into what it was or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at some stats right now just because I'm curious.
Sure.
Because I believe Andor was originally supposed to be 3 or 4, and they cut that down to 2 seasons.
No, I think it was always going to be 2 seasons.
Was it always 2?
It was always 2 seasons.
I thought originally it was supposed to be longer, and then they didn't want to do longer.
No, because the season 1 jumps pretty far, and because it starts 5 years before.
But I think it was like it wasn't after they shot season 1. It was like before season 1 they decided to.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as far as when the first season came out, it was always only going to be 2 seasons from that point. So that's all I would.
Yeah, from that point, yeah. But I do think I remember it being potentially 3. I'll have to look that up later on. But I'm just looking at the viewership, and it's actually crazy. Views per episode, Acolyte is at 9.3 million, and then the next lowest was Andor at 9.9, and then the next lowest was Ahsoka at 13. So I'm hoping Ahsoka can get a couple more seasons, because if it stays at maybe 13 million an episode, you know, that's lower than Book of Boba Fett too. Book of Boba Fett was 14.9 and Ahsoka was below that. And then all the rest of them are pretty high. Mando season 2 was 30 million per episode, and Kenobi was almost 20 million per episode, and then, or 19.1. I rounded way far up on that one. Fake news over here. And then Mando season 3 was actually 24.8 million per episode. So that's not in any danger, and they're getting in a movie. But the Ahsoka show, that's making me a little nervous. Maybe if people don't like season 2, or if season 2 falls off, maybe they might cut that one short. But it just, like, now I feel like with cutting Acolyte, it just feels like Lucasfilm is so flaky.
Yeah.
And we've gotten
it comes
so
off
many.
as flaky. Yeah.
And it's not a good look, because we've gotten so many projects that have started and then that were like almost in production, and then they just changed directors.
Yes.
Or they fired so many movies have changed directors. We have so many movies or projects announced, and then we never hear from them again. The Rian Johnson trilogy, the X-Wing movie, whatever, the Rangers of the New Republic or whatever.
Yeah, there's been a
series,
lot.
the movie.
At this point, there have been, I feel like, more series and movies that have been announced and canceled than there were like actual ones that have been made.
And now, if they're not getting any of their TV series to really land and stick, especially if you're giving up on the Acolyte so soon, you know, it's just really unfortunate. I don't know what the issue is with Lucasfilm, and it's probably a Disney decision, because it did cost. I mean, if you look at the budget, you know, Acolyte was $180 million budget for 9.3, and Andor was $250 million budget for 9.9.
Yeah.
So, you know, Disney's probably really mad at that, but I'm glad that's getting a second season, at least to wrap up the story. Well, give Acolyte the chance. I don't understand.
I think the showrunner, was it Terry Gilliam or whatever? I think he was like, I'm not doing season 1 if you can't guarantee me a season 2. I think
he probably has the power to request that. Yeah. Tony Gilroy.
Yeah.
Is that him?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So he probably has that power, but it's just it just doesn't make sense. Like, why wouldn't? And I guess if it did cost 180 million and you only get 9.3 an episode.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just unfortunate as a fan, because Lucasfilm just feels so flaky. Like, whenever they announce stuff now, I'm like, I'm not even sure if Skeleton's Crew coming out at this point. Like, Lucasfilm just feels so flaky.
It's definitely coming out, but it's a limited series. It's only going to be the 1 season for whatever the story is.
Yeah, it's like, so we keep getting all this limited stuff, and we only have 1 or 2 shows to really dive into, like Mando and Ahsoka. And I guess, Andor's getting a second one, but that's we know that's the last one. That's it for it. So
Pretty much, yeah. I think they officially said there's not going to be a Mando season 4. It's going to be the movie. At least not announced yet. There might be a season 4 after the movie or something. But
also, I have a maybe a hot take. Let me know if this is hot take.
All right.
I actually, as great as Pedro Pascal is, I think casting him as the Mandalorian was a big mistake. In hindsight.
I don't think it was a mistake at the time. But I also don't know, like, outside of the 3 episodes we've seen his face in, he doesn't have to be there. I don't think it's a big deal. Like, having him do voiceover work isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, but then I feel like that like him not like being on set changed the story from, because he also, like, there's been all the reporting that, you know, he can't like move in the suit. Like, that's why he did the sit down scenes. He was mostly sitting down, especially when he was there, because like people don't realize when you're wearing an armor like how hard it is if you're not professionally trained to do that. And I just feel like that changed the story, and I feel like it would be better if we had somebody who could be there more often and wasn't so busy with other things. Because who knows if he's going to even be there in the movie, you know? And
see, I think they should have done it, because this isn't a strange thing for Star Wars. Star Wars has got tons of people where one actor is physically the person and another person is the voice. Darth Vader, heck, Darth Maul is that way. Like, Ray Park was never the voice of Darth Maul. It was Peter Serafinowicz in episode 1 or Sam Witwer literally anywhere else.
Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah, and Solo. But like, I feel like if they had started off with the fact, like said, hey, Pedro Pascal, you're Mando, but you're Mando's voice. Like, we might use your face if we ever need it, but like they build him as like this guy doesn't show his face. Like, that's his thing. And I remember being such a big deal, like the one time, like whenever we did see his face, it felt so weird, especially in the episode where he's infiltrating the Imperial facility on that planet, where he's like just hanging out there without his, like, the whole time I'm like, this feels weird. Like, we're not supposed to see this guy's face.
And that's why, like, I know we're off on a tangent right now, but
yes,
like,
we are.
His character development went to where he moved past that.
Sure.
And then because he couldn't be there, they changed it to, he's reverting back to they undid it, and it's like, so I kind of feel like
maybe he just decided. I don't know. It's like when you leave home and you decide, you know what, you really did like home. Like, it wasn't as good as you thought. Like, it's what he's used to. It's what he likes.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. Like, I think if they want to make it and write it so he's just the voice and then we never see his face again, or if we do, it's very, very sparingly, like once a season,
very limited
kind of thing, where he's not required to physically be there. I don't have a problem with that. Like, that's not different from almost anything else in Star Wars. It's not the only time that's ever happened.
It's just unfortunate. I feel like they changed the story for that, but
probably a little bit, but you know, that happens in time. You know, like A New Hope, but it's Empire Strikes Back. Stories got changed for different reasons and stuff. Like the story is it's a evolving kind of thing where like it'll go places you don't expect because life happens.
It's also crazy looking at these numbers real quick, and then we'll move on. That the lowest budget show was Kenobi.
Huh.
Like, you have the biggest star of all of these shows combined.
Yeah.
The biggest star. I guess probably as far as Star Wars, I know Pedro Pascal now is a much
but he
like,
wasn't. He wasn't back then. Yeah.
But as far as like Star Wars, Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi, especially the character too, and you only give it 90 million because it's just in the nothing but in the volume.
It's 100% shot in the volume. Yeah. But you know what? Like, I feel like it suffered because of that. Like, it felt like
and it did.
The whole show feels like it's shot on the volume.
Yeah. I still like a lot of it though. So
sure, I think it works for what it is, but it's one of those things, like, when you don't know about it, it feels magical, but when you do know about it, it's like when you figure out a magician's trick or illusion.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you can never go back to being fooled by that trick, because you know what to look for, you know how the trick works, and it kind of ruins it. Like, I kind of wish that they had kept the volume a secret or something. Like they hadn't made a big deal about it because it would have kept the magic a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I plan on getting the 4K Blu-ray of that eventually, but I'm kind of nervous. Like, I feel like it's either going to be, wow, this actually, like, they improved the CGI on it or whatever, and then so you can't see this volume as much, or, like, it's so 4K that you can literally see, like, the pixels in the volume.
Yeah.
It's going to be one way or the other. Yeah. No in between. All right, so moving on. Apparently, your close friend Bobby Vala.
No.
That's a total joke. That's a total joke.
No.
That's a
hard no.
Bobby Vala I'm not the Vala. It's all the same thing. This guy, apparently, I guess he used to work for Hasbro. He's does a lot of clickbaity type headlines and all that. Well, he's supposedly saying Hasbro is thinking about or is trying to sell off the Lucasfilm and Star Wars license,
or they're just not going to renew it,
So, and I guess, and I know they re-upped their contract in January of 2022. I think that article dropped on January 26th of 2022, if I think I have my specifics right. And that article didn't give a specific time. You can just Google this if you like, if you're listening to this, for confirmation. But that article didn't give, it just said for years to come and didn't give any information on when the contract was up. But this person is saying they don't want to renew it. So take it with a grain of salt. You know, of course, we don't know how much this person has influence, or it gets, obviously has zero influence, but like the validity of the word he receives. So, but that would be depressing. That would suck if Hasbro got rid of the license, because that would be the end of the Black Series.
It would be the end of a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think there are brands that could probably do it. I don't know if they could do it better. There's a lot of just weird issues with Star Wars specifically, like Disney, Lucasfilm, Star Wars. I know people don't like to hear this, but that license eats up a lot of budget. And I just don't know how different it would be. Like I know there are other companies out there, like specifically like Jada Toys. I feel like everything they make is fantastic, but they're also working with like no-name stuff. Like they've made figures on cereal mascots and chip mascots and Scooby-Doo and Mega Man and Street Fighter. Like those aren't licenses people are clamoring for. Like that's, whereas like Star Wars is it's probably the biggest license you can get for merchandise in the game, like for any merchandise. Like Star Wars is, I would say, probably the biggest like that you could really get. It's associated with Disney, Lucasfilm, established like built-in fan base. I don't think
money machine.
I don't think anyone but Hasbro could pull it off like it is. Like even when you look at things like Bandai and Medicom, like their figures are $80, $90, $100 and they're good, but like
they're not releasing the amount of figures Hasbro is.
You're not getting an 8-pack wave of figures from them. And if you did, that'd be an $800 pack of like wave. Like, would you really want to move to that? Like, I don't.
Also, if another company, say, I don't know, Jack Pacific, I don't know if they're still around, or NECA, like, I don't think those companies are as good as maybe globally distributing or figure quality necessarily.
Nope.
And also, we would just be getting the same things we already have. Like,
I don't want to collect the same figures again just because they're made. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if a new line started, like a new 6-inch scale line under a different company, if Hasbro got rid of it, number one, how long would it take for us to get, you know, a Bosk or something, you know, or what's a weird Hammerhead? You just got a Hammerhead.
I just got a Hammerhead.
How long would it take?
It took us 11 years to get this figure.
So yeah, if a new company did it, they would want to hit on the Luke Skywalkers, the Han Solos, the Darth Vaders,
Boba
the
Fett,
Anakins,
yeah.
which would be sick. New Anakin would be cool. Stormtroopers, clone troopers,
Stuff we already have.
Stuff we already have, and so it would just be a mess, I think. And also, Hasbro owns the Kenner, like all the Kenner stuff, the Kenner branding and all that. So if another company, unless they sold that to them, we wouldn't get any nostalgic packaging that you see lined up above my head right here, which we get on a pretty consistent basis with the Black Series. And we literally Fine Edition 2 today, the Power of the Force or the Kenner throwback Greedo and the Episode 1 Phantom Menace Darth Maul throwback. We wouldn't get stuff visually like this. Like, how long would it take for us to get a Sith Speeder Darth Maul if a different company other than Hasbro got the license?
I hate to sound like a Hasbro fanatic. I just don't think it's feasible. Like I just don't think it's feasible. I really don't. Like I want Hasbro to do better. It's the same argument that we had with the Acolyte. Like, I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't want to undo everything. I just want them to fix the issues. Like,
yeah,
I'm
and I feel
happy in general with what it is for the most part, but there are issues I would like fixed. And if they did that, it would be great.
Yeah, so I feel like right now we're in such like a hot fire time for the Black Series.
Yeah.
Like, it's been going so good in my opinion. And later on in this podcast, we haven't mentioned it yet, but we are going to do a complete coverage of everything being released upcoming, and we're going to go over every figure. I feel like we're in a really good place in Black Series. We're getting vehicles, we're getting prequel figures, we're getting a bunch of OT figures next year.
Yeah.
So, and we're getting, new media stuff, whether you like that or not. We're getting trooper repaints. So I feel like it's such a good time. It would be such a shame, and if 2 years it ends and we have to start over with a different company.
For getting McFarlane Star Wars toys or
Oh my
Mattel
God.
Star Wars toys.
And we got to hunt down gold label Palpatines or something. Gold label clone troopers.
The unpainted Anakin Skywalker prototype.
Yeah, it's just going to be more BS like that, when right now we have such a good, like, they're hammering out repaints of in-universe
terrible
stuff.
articulation too. Like
Exactly.
there are people
figure
out there
quality.
that love McFarlane toys. Their articulation sucks. I've never had a figure from McFarlane where I'm like, yeah, this is great. This moves fantastic.
Yeah, and also, like, what company is going to commit to doing a ton of Black Series, like 6-inch scale figures, and a ton of 3.75 inch?
Nothing. No.
If Hasbro, what other companies are
If
even
they
doing
did that,
3.75 inch?
3.75 inch would be dead. 100%.
Yeah,
they
I'm saying,
would
like,
stick with 6-inch because that's the majority of what sells. 3.75 inch Star Wars would be dead.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not sounding too bad now. Actually, now that you bring it,
Right?
That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. But yeah. So that would be unfortunate, but take it with a grain of salt because of the source. So maybe if somebody a lot more reputable brings it up, we'll have another conversation about it, and heavily show more concern. But would the podcast end? Would we have to end the podcast? I mean, we literally wouldn't have anything to talk
It
about.
wouldn't be if Black Series ends. I feel like we go for as many episodes as we can milk it out, and then we start a new podcast.
Yep.
The Rancor tears.
Oh gosh, the Rancor tears. Yep, I like it. Well, hopefully that multiverse doesn't come true. All right, so we have some reveals to cover, which I didn't remember not covering these for some reason. These reveals totally left my brain.
Well, it's because they kind of came with little fanfare, and neither of them are very interesting.
Yeah. So these will be quick.
Yeah,
K2SO, which
literally
it's
a re-release.
It's funny that we have reveals of figures we already have. Like,
Yeah,
why wouldn't they just include this? And I know they want to do it for the Andor marketing and all that because season 2 is coming up. But it's also like they just did a bunch of reruns. Like, this could have just been a rerun.
I don't know if they just did it because they want it on the mural. Like,
Yeah.
it does feel weird.
And I would rather have it on the mural too if they are doing it again. But It does take up a mainline slot, though.
It does. It does. But it was
But-
also cheap. And I will say, in Hasbro's defense, not that they need it, but there have been a lot of brand new sculpts this year. They probably needed a release that
Like
didn't
this?
cost them. Yeah, that was like bare bones. Like, we've already made this. Let's just reprint it and put this in the line just to save us a spot or something.
And if he looks mostly the same in the show, it makes
Yeah.
sense to do that.
Sure.
Hopefully, some of like the knee joints and ankle joints are a little
I
tighter.
don't think they're gonna fix it. I don't think so.
Because mine, it has a hard time standing up.
Yeah, I think I have mine sitting down on the edge of the shelf.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have mine on one of the figure stands, and it's always just like leaning back.
They definitely need to release this guy with a blaster at some point. In the Black Series, the TVC one has a blaster,
Yeah, go figure.
and they've made the blaster in the Black Series. I don't know why they don't include it, especially now that this is a re-release.
Yeah, weird. But now we can get on to the more interesting one. Darth Maul single release, and Mike,
We called it.
why was there a bunch of people not expecting this?
I don't know. This is like so obvious. This was the thing we all knew was coming first, before any of the other Darth Mauls were announced, before the 3-pack, before the Bloodfin. This is the one we knew about way before then
From this podcast
from this podcast.
with the Yak Face episode.
Yak Face talked about it, but we also knew just because his lightsaber and leg are right next to Kiadi Mun, or not
Qui-Gon, or was it?
No. It's the
The
it's the
droideka?
It's the droideka. It's the droideka.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you look at the droideka box, Darth Maul's leg and lightsaber are on it. We knew this was coming. We've known this was coming for a long time. We didn't know what it looked like until that 3-pack was released and the Bloodfin was released. So people now are like, ugh, they're just re-releasing the same thing again. But like, yeah, they are, because there are so many people that don't want to have to buy a 3-pack to get a new Darth Maul, and they don't want to have to buy the Bloodfin to get a new Darth Maul. They just want the new Darth Maul.
Yeah, and
this is
looks
for them.
And I think this is actually a lot better. It looks better than the Bloodfin version because the soft goods
Oh,
skirt,
for sure. Yeah.
you know, that's made specifically to sit on the Bloodfin, and I wouldn't want that displayed. Honestly, I really like the plastic rubbery skirt here. I think it gives a lot more
Oh no, it looks a lot better for sure. Yeah.
depth to the and it just looks visually a lot more appealing. And then if you get the 3-pack, it's this same figure with the soft goods. So
Yeah, so and we called that as soon as we saw that the 3-pack had the robe. You know, we pretty much said, yeah, the single release version isn't going to come with the robe. And I feel like that is kind of an interesting thing to look at if you compare it with the first release of Darth Maul in the very first wave back in 2013.
with
That
everything
one
he
came-
included,
That one came with basically this figure, an alternate head that had the rubber molded robe on top of it, the binoculars that the Bloodfin one comes with. You know, so he comes with a lot more stuff originally, and this one's very bare bones. You get Darth Maul and his lightsaber, and that's it.
yep. But a pretty good option for those who don't
Sure.
want to buy the 3-pack or the Bloodfin.
Absolutely. And
I
this
would definitely
looks
recommend
phenomenal.
the Bloodfin though. It's
Yeah.
really sick.
I still haven't opened mine yet.
Yeah, I think I'm keeping mine in box. I really
I'm
love the
planning on
presentation
opening
of it.
mine just because I do want to put the Bloodfin on the shelf, but he's gonna stay with his robe on the cycle. Like, I'm never gonna take him off for the shelf anyway.
Yeah, and I'm still debating if I want the 3-pack or the single release Darth Maul.
I'm getting the 3-pack, just because I do want. This is stupid. This is stupid and embarrassing. I want the robe for Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
See, my dilemma is I want to do 3D prints. So,
Yeah.
and if I want to do a 3D print, because I kind of want to do the droideka and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon like in a hall. There's like a couple. I think Luke has like a Phantom Menace hallway, like a door type thing, and then John Bryson has a hallway
Yeah.
from Phantom Menace. So you could do like that scene where they're fighting Droidekas. But I kind of also want to do like if we could get like a really cool. I'm not sure if anybody has a really good like Duel of the Fates floor or something for like the bridges they walk on and fight on. Or like the little red laser doors would be a cool 3D print if that'd be possible. That'd probably be pretty hard to pull off, but kind of do a 3D print with them. So I can't decide if I just want to use the ones on the shelf now, or just buy 2 new ones and keep the ones on the shelf also.
Yeah.
But because if I do the hallway, I need the robes on Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, or I usually have my Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon just sitting on my shelves. And I prefer them how they look with the robes on, because that's how they look for 95% of the movie.
Yeah. Other than at the end when they're fighting.
Right.
Darth Maul. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
But yes, that's a good option. $24.99 single release Darth Maul. And
Yep.
figures like this is kind of what we dreamed about, or at least me. Prequel figures, brand new sculpts in the Black Series. Cooking with gas.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the most popular release for sure. And I think it's the one most people should buy, honestly. I think it's perfect. For $25, you just get a solid little Darth Maul.
Yeah. So it is now time to move to our discussion topic, which do you want to go ahead and jump into the all the figures, or do you want to put a figure into the Hall of Fame first?
Let's do the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. So last episode, to celebrate episode 77, we put in Figuring Dan and the Moto Nodes. What should we do for episode 78? I haven't thought about it yet, so I'm trying to think of stuff we've talked about before.
I know.
Is Return of the Jedi Boba Fett? He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, is he?
He's not. I feel like the two that we always kind of talk about and never put in, and it's kind of becoming a running joke now, is Return of the Jedi Boba Fett or Clone Wars Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So let's decide between those two so we can get one in.
I was gonna say, but what if we did we do Count Dooku?
Yeah, he's in. Count Dooku's in.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah.
I can give you the full rundown real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about what we have in there.
So I'll actually pull it up for the people watching also. Let me just give you 2 seconds to go to my Instagram page. Let me share my screen. And all right, there it is. So here's my page. If anybody ever wants to check it out, you can literally just go to Hall of Fame on my page and pull it up. So the inaugural one was Darth Vader, Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader, and then we had the Gamorrean Guard, Scout Trooper, and Speeder Bike, Greedo from episode 4 and number 4. We had Luke Skywalker and Yoda training pack, Fennec Shand for number 6, the 2020 Stormtrooper for number 7, number 8 was Count Dooku, and most recently number 9 was Figuring Dan. So that's the complete list. I feel like it's got to be either Clone Wars Obi-Wan or Return of the Jedi Boba Fett Deluxe. They're both long overdue, but we can only do one. All right. Out of those two, let's count down from 3 and say the one that we want from those two. All right. That in for number 10. All right. Who's counting down from 3?
You count.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Look at that. All right, there it is. It's decided. Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, not Episode 3 Archive Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No.
That one will never make it in the Hall of Fame.
No.
That will never come close to sniffing the Hall of Fame. It will be rejected at the door. But Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi is Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame, number 10. I think it's always been my favorite Black Series figure. At worst, it's like number 3 or number 2. Like, I really love the Dual Zen Vader. The, Super Battle Droid, I'm really loving right now. The Darth Sidious, I'm really loving. But the Clone Wars Obi-Wan is still very close to my heart. And that's still, I feel like that still might be my favorite. At worst, top 2 or 3. I'm surprised it took it this long to get in, honestly.
I feel like it's kind of funny that it took this long. I feel like it's one of those things that's too obvious, and we're going for less obvious stuff for a little bit.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But it's
once
time.
now that we knocked that one out, and then surely we'll knock Return of the Jedi Boba Fett out soon, then we'll start to get into, there's probably going to be, there's probably more obvious ones, but it'll get a little tougher. It'll start getting a little tougher eventually.
Well, we're getting closer to when we can put the new R2 in there.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah, so for the newer listeners, maybe if you're a new listener, it's basically just got to be out for like a year or so. It's got to be a little old before it can make it. It can't just like, we can't put the Super Battle Droid in yet because it just came out. We got to let it, ferment on the shelf a little
You got to let it stew.
Yeah.
You got to let it sit there.
Yeah.
You got the bias towards something new that you have to let it kind of get old before you see how you really feel about something.
You got to let it age in the barrel a little bit.
Yeah.
Swish it around.
Smell it. Yeah.
Smell it.
Yeah.
Let it sit on your taste buds before you a little bit. So you gotta let it simmer on there for a little bit. You can't just we can't microwave it into the Hall of Fame. It's gotta slow cook. It's gotta
you gotta slow cook that for at least 8 hours.
Yeah, crock pot cooking in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
All right, so moving on for the Hall of Fame. I hope everybody's satisfied with number 10 because we both certainly are. All right, so now this is the topic we came up with for the show. We are going to go over every upcoming Black Series reveal or release. So we aren't doing leaks like the Savaggio Press or, what was that's like there was another one we said we weren't doing.
I feel like that's
that's the only
that we don't know about.
Yeah, or like yak face rumors. We're not doing yak face rumors.
Sure, we're not doing yak face rumors. Yeah,
or leaks.
Yeah,
or the leak. But we are doing, which I guess we just kind of talked about it. But we are going to go over that figure that has been officially revealed, but not like available for purchase.
Right.
At least like pre-orders are good, obviously, but nothing that's like shipped. So Hammerhead, he just shipped.
Hammerhead
doesn't
just
count.
So he doesn't count. That's right.
The 2-pack, it's the Stormtrooper and Rebel Trooper 2-pack. That's not on here because that's in stock and has been shipping. So, all right, first up, they're kind of in alphabetical order based off show. I noticed whenever you sent that.
That's because that's how it's on my Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah, so that's kind of in order. So we're starting off with the Acolyte, which has been canceled, but Vernestra Rowe,
figures.
Still, as of now, yeah. Unfortunately, we did not get the lightsaber whip though, and it's not looking like we ever will. I guess. I guess the odds are lower at this point now that we're not.
For sure.
The odds have been dramatically decreased of getting the lightsaber whip, which is unfortunate.
I still feel like some like cubic 3D prints could make a whip shaped lightsaber to plug in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope
feel like
so.
That would be a big deal.
Yeah, I really hope, but we'll have to see. Somebody needs to get on it. Then we have Basil from the Acolyte, which doesn't come with much. Comes with Pip. Do we know? Is this the same Pip that Osha comes with?
As far as I know, yeah, it's the same Pip.
But yeah, this one for $24.99 hurts a little bit. I'm not buying it. Mike, are you picking up Basil?
Yeah, just because I like having weird little creatures on my shelf, and like it's the same kind of thing. Like even if you don't like the Acolyte, I feel like this is the kind of thing that you could put in like Jabba's palace or at your cantina, just for some creature diversity.
Maybe I'll pick up Basil, but just throw him in my cantina, just like have him sitting at a table or something with a drink or something. Yeah, that might work. Maybe I'll do that. That's good use for Basil. And then, all right, so now we have Ahsoka Peridia, which we have a million Ahsokas in the line now, but this is, unfortunately, doesn't come with the white cloak. I held strong. I did not pre-order this one because I'm waiting for them to do the mercenary version and have it include the white cloak. And I know Mike,
that version, yeah.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, I know you pre-ordered this one, right?
I don't have her specifically pre-ordered, but I have the case pre-ordered.
The case
that she's in. So yeah.
But I gotta say, the Ahsoka, this looks like an amazing figure. This could be
great.
a top figure for the year we get it.
I'm probably gonna, if I do a video on her, kind of for me that justifies buying it. Like, so I could be like, yeah, this is what it is. Maybe you shouldn't buy it if you want to wait to see if one comes with a cape, kind of thing.
For sure. But the sculpting and paint on it looks really nice. I'm pretty impressed by it. The left knee does look a little weird when it's fully bent like that.
That's the problem I feel like with all these with baggy pants.
Yeah.
Like whenever you bend the knees, they look weird.
Yeah. But other than that, the figure looks like you can, on the picture on the right, her left hip, you can see the sculpting on that pad.
Yeah.
Which it's pretty impressive. And then even like the smaller wrinkles in her, like the torso thing, the small wrinkles on the left and middle, pretty impressive sculpting here. Nice attention to detail. And then another figure from the Ahsoka show, Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is one of 2 new Grand Admiral Thrawns we're getting. Another one will be, we'll talk about later on. But I have this one already pre-ordered because cool character from the show. I think he's going to have a big, big thing to, a lot to say in hopefully future episodes of Ahsoka and whatever movie that this is all leading up to. So, and I know is this included in that case with that Ahsoka?
I think this is included in that case. Yeah. What is in that case? Let's see. I'm just curious now because I ordered it on Entertainment Earth because they were the first to have the case in. And honestly, what will probably happen is Toy Snowman will get these in way before. Yeah. And I'll probably only get the ones that I want. But technically, I have it pre-ordered. Supposedly, this comes out in November. So it says it's got. Oh, yeah. So it's got Grand Admiral Thrawn in it. Oh, man. Okay. Maybe I don't want this case. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk cancel it.
Talk about this stuff. Maybe.
Yeah. But
Grand Admiral Thrawn is part of the next mainline wave that's coming out.
Yeah. Another interesting note about this figure is it's so much better than the TVC version because they're literally just getting the updated head on the thin old body.
True.
Which, if they did that in Black Series, I would not be very happy about. And then we're moving on to some pretty terrible releases. Short Balin skull with a cloak this time. That's a Walmart exclusive, and I think Shin's a Target, if I got that right.
Yeah, this is Walmart exclusive. So that's the
same price, $24.99, and you get
same figure.
Red blade.
Yep. Short
cloak.
King.
Short King. Hopefully, whoever they recast for the role, we get a new version and a better version. And then
hold on. What if whoever they recast for the role is this height, and now it's accurate?
Oh, and then they make that one taller on accident.
And they make that one too tall.
Oh God. Oh geez.
I think they did confirm that they were recasting, or at least that was the rumor, is that
they're searching.
They're searching for a replacement.
And I hope so. His story, at least where they left it off, was pretty interesting
for sure.
And it's heading in a new direction for Star Wars, and I'm down for it. So I think the character was pretty cool. So I don't want the character to go away, and obviously Ray Stevenson, we appreciate what he did, and it's really very sad what happened. Yeah. But I do feel like the story has to move on. And speaking of moving on, we can talk about they did the same thing with Shin Hati. And this is a Target exclusive, but now with the cloak. And just another. This is the reason why I didn't pre-order the Ahsoka Tano Peridia, because I'm just expecting them to do what they did to these two figures. They showed their hand with Balin and Shin. So now I'm expecting a Walmart or Target or Pulse or somewhere Amazon exclusive Ahsoka Tano with her cloak. So that's what I'm waiting on. So we shall see. But
be Walgreens exclusive.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. The good old days, right? Yeah. The good old days. Man, how many Walgreens stops did I have to make before I found that thing?
I haven't been in a
Boba Fett?
Walgreens in so long, and I love it. At least not to look for toys.
Yeah, usually if I
Yeah.
do, it's like somebody at my wife's work got exposed to COVID, so they're requiring
Yeah,
everybody
you have
at
to
their
get a
work to do
COVID
a
test
COVID
or
test.
something.
And it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
9 p.m. trip,
Yeah,
9 p.m. trip to Walgreens to buy a $15 COVID test or whatever
Right.
they are. But other than that, like everything's so overpriced. I don't know who, like, unless it's super convenient, who in their right mind would go to Walgreens to buy like anything but whatever they get for
the
pharmacy?
drinks, toilet paper. Like who goes to Walgreens to buy toilet paper? Like for real.
Yeah.
Like almost anywhere else is going to have Target, Walmart, going to have cheaper toilet paper.
Yeah,
Costco,
I guess
like
Walgreens just has to be like if you're out of town and you need to make a stop and it's
or
the
you can only
closest thing.
walk and it's within walking distance, maybe.
Yeah, or you're like a toy hunter and you make the super awkward interaction where you walk in, they don't got the figure you're looking for, and within 30 seconds you're walking out, and it's the most suspect thing of all
So
time.
you buy something so they don't think you're stealing.
Dude, that was always on my mind. I was like, walking out of here is going to be so awkward, just with nothing. Like, you almost do got to like buy a pack of gum or something, right?
No, I don't feel any. Like
I usually don't buy anything either. I just walk straight out. It was just you had that's like a mental hurdle collecting figures you
For
have
sure.
to get over though. Is
Yeah.
walking out not buying anything.
Yeah, especially
Popping
if you're
in the
only
toy
in there
aisle real quick.
for like a very short amount of time. Like you're just in there, you look down the toy aisle, you see there's nothing that you care about from the last time you were there, so you leave immediately because there's no reason to hang around.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully we can move on to some better figures that we can actually talk about and have a good time with. Next up we have the Enoch 2-pack,
this.
and I am so hyped for this 2-pack. These
Hyped.
I actually posted a TikTok about these two today, so go check that out. These are very unique Black Series figures, which is why
Yes.
I'm looking forward to them, because I thought their presence in the show was very cool, in my opinion. Enoch didn't have that much to do, but Boba Fett didn't have that much to do. Captain Phasma never had that much to do. He's just a trooper to lead the troopers, to look cool. Very Star Warsy. New to Star Wars. Like, the design is not necessarily Star Warsy, but also Star Warsy at the same time. I think they did a really
for
good job
sure.
integrating that
Yeah.
with the troopers. So they're very unique Black Series figures. They're going to pop off on the shelf. I have it pre-ordered, so I can't wait for this one.
I'm pretty sure this Night Trooper they chose, the design is specifically the one that Ezra disguised himself as.
Yeah, so Yakface did post like the similarities in the sculpt,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
probably. I think Ezra. The only difference is Ezra had an all white helmet. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, it's probably true. Yeah.
So they'll just have to switch helmets, and then
Yeah.
you can just take that Ezra
yeah.
and then make that just another.
Whenever
trooper,
they
which
give
is
us a
probably
Ahsoka
what
Ezra.
I'll do. I don't necessarily care about having an Ezra disguised as Stormtrooper when he was disguised for 10 seconds
2 seconds.
of
Yeah.
screen time.
Yeah. That's kind of Star Wars bread and butter, though. Like, here's a figure
It is.
on screen for 2 seconds. Here's a toy of it.
It is, and that I'm glad they'd release it, but I would just use
Sure.
it as another Stormtrooper.
Sure. Yeah.
The only disguises I don't use as normal Stormtroopers are Luke and Han, because they're in the trash compactor scene, and the George Lucas, because I have him standing
Yeah. Yeah.
like with his helmet off in the middle of all the troopers. So he's like, because he's George Lucas,
He's George Lucas. Yeah. I don't have
But-
him as just a normal Stormtrooper. I took the Han and Luke off my shelf because I just felt like I took all the old Stormtrooper molds off my shelf, regardless of which ones they were. And I'm just hoping to replace it with an updated one sometime soon.
Yeah. If they ever do new ones, I'll replace the trash compactor scene with them. But for now, since
Sure.
I have the trash compactor 3D print, I gotta keep them in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then recently, whenever I changed my collection to be based off factions, I changed the Han Solo Mud Trooper that we talked about earlier, number 78. I changed that to like an actual Stormtrooper look, and now he's with the Empire.
Oh yeah, mine is just a mud trooper on my Imperial shelf.
Yeah. So that's a great 2-pack. We're both looking forward to that one.
Yeah, for
quite
sure.
a bit.
Yeah.
Andor. I did not order this one. I won't be getting it, but I do think this is the best Andor look we have in the entire line. I think it's much better than the Rogue One looks, and I think it's much better than the jacket, the big heavy coat that we got.
The big duster or whatever.
Yeah.
The oily duster.
Yeah. Oh my God. They literally dipped that thing in gas. They went to Speedway, filled up a bucket, dropped this in the bucket, pulled it out, and then put it on the production line. I swear. That Andor. But this one looks incredible. I'm not getting this at full price. I'm probably gonna wait for like a $12.99 sale on this one. I mean, it's definitely gonna hit sale, so that's what I'm waiting on for this one.
So this one is also in the next wave that I pre-ordered. So I definitely have it on pre-order. I think it looks good. I'm looking forward to it. I like Cassian Andor. I'll probably remove the other version from my shelf, and this will be like my shelf.
Yeah,
Cassian.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that figure. Like it's cool looking, but as far as on my shelf, I don't need 4 Cassian Andors.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna remove them all whenever I eventually pick this one up, probably in 2 years or so. But we shall see. We shall see. But I'm pretty excited for this next one.
Yeah.
Deidre definitely pre-ordered this one. It's going to fit in so amazingly with the Imperial shelf. And I like the character. One of the more interesting characters in the show, in my opinion.
Sure.
So.
Yep. I have her pre-ordered as well because she's, again, part of that next wave. So far we've got Thrawn, Cassian, and Deidre.
And Ahsoka, right?
And Ahsoka Tano. You're right.
Peridea, yeah.
The Peridea Ahsoka Tano.
Yep. And we talked about this whenever it was released, but this could use some stickers for the screen or a little bit of paint there.
Something. Yeah, it's weird to have just a blank screen.
Yeah.
Especially because it's so big. If it were small, I wouldn't care. But the fact that it's kind of big, like the fact that it's just kind of blank and dark just looks weird.
Yeah.
Like if they had painted it blue or something, like it doesn't have to have words or anything, but if they had some kind of color on there to simulate a screen glow or
and
something.
Also like the fact that they have paint on that side for you to be able to show like they're clearly meant it to be like, oh, we want you to look at this while it's on your shelf, then throw a little bit of blue or green or some vertical lines on it or something.
I'm sure you could just get like some blue vinyl and just like cut it out into those shapes and stick it in there. I'm sure it won't be a problem.
Yeah, most likely not. I'll probably try that, and then I might just tiny paintbrush. You just throw a little paint on it.
Too.
It'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And this is the K2SO that we just talked about in the reveal.
Yep.
So
another figure in the next wave.
So not much to go over here. Just another K2SO release, updated paint, but I won't be getting this one. I guess you are getting this.
This is part of the reason where I'm like, oh, maybe I won't get this because there are more repeats than I thought there was, since it was it's a case of 8 like they always are, but every figure is new. There's no repacks, I guess, except for this, which is technically a repack. But at the same time, like, I don't mind having multiples of these guys. And I think I've got 2 or 3 of them already just from all the different re-releases they've done of K2 and they've released this in like the Droids box set. And I think they have a Gaming Greats one from the Star Wars or Jedi Survivor. So I've got this mold a couple times, but like it's a droid. It's a mass produced droid. There are lots of these. So I don't mind army building it a little bit, but maybe not for retail. Maybe if I see it on sale or something.
And also, people, if you have a K2SO, you can buy this, and it can literally just be another security droid in the Empire. Like he's literally, it has the Imperial logo.
In the show, he gets arrested by a K2 droid that isn't K2SO. It's like, there's just tons of them.
Next up, we have, I did this all in one because it's the International Archive Wave. The Grogu, the Ahsoka Tano, Obi-Wan Kenobi Padawan, and Luke Skywalker Imperial Light Cruiser. I understand two of these, the Luke and the Obi-Wan, because the Obi-Wan used to be a figure that's hard to get, and I know they're just doing the 3-pack at GameStop. So that might also be hard for international people to get. And I understand
how
Luke.
that works internationally. Before that 3-pack, I thought the Obi-Wan was a really good pick because like he is hard to get. He goes for a lot on the aftermarket.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the
at
few
least here in America,
that does. Yeah.
And then like I always understand wanting to have a Luke in the line. But the other two, it's just like casual bait, like for international people who have maybe seen Mandalorian. It's like, oh, Grogu and Ahsoka, I'll get them as a gift, or I like that show, and maybe I wouldn't mind having a figure or two on the desk with me or whatever. So, but other than that, like choice. It definitely weird choices, but it's like new media marketing casual bait.
Sure.
But two of them are okay, I thought. The Luke and the Obi-Wan. Next up, we have the hot fire, cooking with gas, all the adjectives you want to use, as amazing as you can think. The 2-pack, Yoda and Gree, includes Yoda's council chair, and we get an alt head with Yoda. I love the mean face.
Love it. I'm definitely I want to pose him with the mean face, but I'm probably going to have him sitting on the chair, so it's going to look weird having him with the mean face sitting on his chair.
Yeah. Maybe he had a mean face whenever he was in the end of the Acolyte. Like, we only saw the back of his head, but maybe he was true. Like, when he was told the news about Soul that that happened off camera, maybe that's what he looked like. But I'm going to
post know. They could have been talking about anything. They could have been setting their fantasy football lineup.
That's true. That they could have talked about anything.
We don't know. They could have been talking about anything.
What's the sport? What's the in-universe name for the sport that in episode 2 Obi-Wan watches in the bar?
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Maybe they have fantasy. Like, do you think Jedi have fantasy teams for those sports?
Fantasy Quidditch.
Yeah, like so. Yeah. So there's got to be stuff out there. But so I have the file for the Senate pod circle.
Oh yeah.
So my plan is to have this Darth Sidious and that Yoda.
Well, yeah, definitely now that you have this Darth Sidious, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
They have to be fighting.
But it's a little bit of a pinch because I also want the Yoda in the chair, but that doesn't come with 2 Yoda bodies.
Do you get
So I feel like I need 2. But I don't want.
Do you need 2 Grees?
No, I don't need a single Gree. I mean,
Can that be just a generic like trooper? Is that specific? Is that design specific to Gree?
Look, if you would have, before this figure released, if you would have showed me that picture, I would have never known it was Gree. So on my shelf, it's going to be another random clone. Like, I do not care.
Exactly. Like, I'm saying it's going to be get 2 of these.
Yeah. And for me, if it's in a comic, like it only half counts. It only counts until it doesn't and they change it in live action. Yeah.
It's can.
Yeah.
It's half of canon. It's can.
Yeah. It's can't. So this is just going to be another clone, and maybe I can buy another 2-pack when it hits on Disney or Shop Disney or whatever.
I'm sure it'll go on sale Black Friday or something like that.
And then just maybe offload. I have a couple clones I kind of want to offload and sell.
Bring them to ICC and just give them out to people.
Right, just as gifts. Yeah. But yeah, this is amazing. Hasbro's been killing it with multi-packs lately. I love a good Black Series multi-pack. And this is probably... We need to do like a multi-pack ranking one day of all the Black Series multi-packs.
Okay.
That's probably a good idea. And so this has to be up there. We don't even have the figure yet. And is this the best multi-pack they've done aside from maybe the Shadow Squadron 2-pack?
I don't want to overhype it. But I think this might be the figure set I'm looking forward to the most right now this year.
For me, it is for sure.
Yeah.
For me, it was all year. It's been SBD, Darth Sidious, and this pack right here. But as far as multi-packs, what's better? I feel like the Shadow Squadron set, because it's a speeder bike, is still probably better. This would have to be like, I mean, I really love the concept Vader and Obi-Wan 2-pack, but I feel like that's still that's below this one still.
Well, that's a future episode.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, that's a future episode. We'll have to put that in the memory bank and remember that. Next up, we have another 3-pack, which I can tell you is not near the top 5 of multi-packs, but it's still pretty neat. It's the droids from Survivor. We have the Super Battle droid with the cool rocket arm, which I am begging them to re-release that on a normal body. Super Battle droid. We have the Magna Guard repaint, and we have a normal Battle droid repaint with a cool little handheld axe type thing. I did not get this, but Mike, I believe you got this one, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love having more droids on my shelves, and especially I have a little set now kind of these little Raider droids, which I think is kind of neat. So I'm looking forward to getting these for sure.
Mm-hmm. I do love the Super Battle droid though. He looks really cool.
I like the soft goods hood and kind of scarf on the Magna droid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a cool set. I'm not getting it, but it is a very cool set. Next up, we have in the Black Series. Oh, we're doing Holocom now.
Holocom, yay!
Everyone's favorite, and we kind of mentioned this earlier, but Hasbro's got to be so mad they're doing them. They have Osha and May Holocom figures on pre-order, and the show's already
such a hard
canceled.
sell.
Yeah, there's no way these I'd be surprised if these aren't like $4.99 within a year. Which is unfortunate, but
it sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's true. You know what's weird with the way these are packaged? It looks like Osha is shorter than May.
It also might be.
It was because May's higher in the package.
Yeah.
Because Osha's feet are below the line and May's feet are on the line. But it's just weird they designed the trays to be like that.
Yeah, and it's also interesting, or I feel like it's unfortunate that the Osha figure we got isn't the best outfit for the show, because I kind of knew she'd have a better outfit near the end.
She has a great outfit at the end.
Yeah, and but this is probably the only one we're getting, at least for a long time.
I 100% want that Sith outfit with Soul's lightsaber with a red blade. I would love that. If I could get that in a stranger, so I could stand them next to each other, I would love that. I mean, you don't even have to like the Acolyte to just think that looks cool. They're just two Sith adjacents, whatever.
Yep. So we have more Holocom figures. We have Ezra Bridger and the Darth Maul, which I think there's some in-universe use for the Darth Maul Holocom. That's why I was considering getting it. I literally said on the podcast.
Yeah.
Whenever, I was like, this is the one I'll get unless they do a Darth Vader. And then literally the next morning, they revealed the Darth Vader one. But I'm not getting either of these, but I do think there's some in-universe use for that Darth Maul one.
If they did a Darth Maul on the new body with the robe, because he's in episode 1 like that, I would 100%
arms crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
With a Palpatine, maybe hands.
Yeah.
That'd go hard. I'd probably be
right.
On
That'd go way hard. I would love that.
And then the one I'm getting, and I am actually probably more excited about this than I should be, because I've got that hollow table thing that Luke made, printed and all that. So looking forward to the Darth Vader so much. I'm gonna have some Imperial officers or whoever standing around the table.
I wonder how he would look kneeled on, like he's kneeling.
You could probably do it pretty decently. His back leg would be hanging off most likely.
Sure it would.
I haven't seen one of these in person, out of the box. I saw one of them, but at Target, the Bo-Katan, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, his foot would be hanging off. I'm sure you could get it to balance somehow. Maybe some blue tack. Worst case scenario, if you could get it to balance.
I think with his leg and knee on there, I think you could get it pretty good.
Do you have a puck?
I have a puck, yeah.
Well, after the pod, take a Darth Vader.
I'll take a Darth Vader and I'll try to get the knee on there. I think it would look good.
Yeah, and then you could have a Palpatine in front of it. And, well, especially now that I think about it, the table, I have this pretty close. It would probably get easier to balance on the table.
Oh, for sure.
It would be a bigger surface.
Yeah, the 3D printed table. Yeah, absolutely.
I still need to print the little button. I haven't done that yet, but I do got a little bit of paint on it to make it look a little realistic,
it looks
like
good.
red and silvers and stuff.
Yeah.
So and there's some green that you can't really see, but pretty excited about that. Big shout out to Luke for bringing that to life. Next up in the Black Series, we have the Shriekhawk 2-pack, the trainers, which this was also in the TikTok video I made today. I did a 2-packs I'm excited about video, and I'm looking forward to this. I think they're unique enough to stand out from all the other blue Mandalorians.
I agree.
So I have this pre-ordered, and I really love the brown and the blue stripe, and like all the maroon.
Is this the Target or the Walmart one?
This is Walmart. The single one is the Target.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the trainers, and we have the Shriekhawk, just Mandalorian Shriekhawk, this is the Target one. And then I like this one too. He is blue themed.
Yeah.
But now that I have my figures displayed in factions, I have a team of blue Mandalorians, and with Din Djarin and Bo-Katan all on the same shelf, and they're all blue, so it looks like they're actually a squad. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of digging it. My tone is kind of changing on those a little bit. But I'm definitely in on. I have both of these sets pre-ordered, which is pretty. Looking forward to those.
Yeah, I'm excited about those.
And we have IG-12 and Grogu Deluxe Pack with the Anzellans. Cool thing about this figure, the chest opens up, the head spins all the way around. He is bigger, which is very nice. Hopefully we can get a nice brand new IG-88.
I just noticed that he has a waist swivel.
Yeah. That's going to be hopefully better balancing and
I am
more unique
so
posing.
excited. I think I might be actually be more excited for this than I am the Gree Yoda 2-pack. I don't know.
There's no way.
I don't know, man. I love IG-11, IG-88. And I know there are people that didn't like the IG-12 scenes with Grogu. I did. I love this and the implications for this, for what it would mean for getting a proper IG-11 and IG-88 in a line.
And what's interesting about this is whenever this was leaked, it showed a soft goods, it showed soft goods clothes around Baby Yoda.
Or was it just a really low quality picture?
It looked fluffier than this neck piece, though.
I think it was just a low quality figure.
Low quality. It looks like it was a lot fluffier than this neck wrap, that little collar thing. But I'd have to go back and look. But maybe they changed it, or who knows. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, and obviously the implications of it having an IG-88 or an original IG-11.
He has articulated fingers.
Yeah, it's so sick. We thought the Magna Guard was going to have articulated fingers, but now this one, they confirmed this one does.
Yeah, they confirmed it. Yeah.
So, but I'm not looking forward to this one more than the Yoda and Council chair.
It's close for me. It's very close. This. One of them is number 1 and the other one is number 2, and it might swap just based on which one I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it. Then we have the Imperial Armored Commando, which I'm pretty excited about this one. I'm always down for cool troopers in the Black Series. I almost don't even care if I don't like the show. If sequel troopers, I'll probably buy them if they come out and all that. I want new, Force Awakens stormtroopers. But I liked the scenes this was in. So how many are you getting? Multiple of these or just one?
I think I'm getting it 2. Obviously I have this one pre-ordered. This is on the pre-order list in the case as well. So I have that on pre-order, and I think I have it also pre-ordered off Amazon. So I have at least 2 on order right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's pretty cool. Do you feel like, I know some people didn't like the colors, the difference between almost the green and the gray abdomen, the green arms and legs and the gray abdomen. Does that bother you at all or no?
It doesn't bother me at all, but I have an issue with colors anyway.
Oh, how did I forget?
What bothers me on this figure is I think the helmet's a little too small.
Yeah, the neck looks really long.
Yeah.
Yeah, the neck is it's looking like the original Anakin figure. Or Yord's got a really long neck, so
Yord does have a long neck. Yeah.
guess that's just a persistent Black Series issue. But also the actor has a really long neck too. So
Well, yeah, for Yord, yes, he does.
yeah, Yord.
Yeah.
But this
That's
guy
exactly.
should have a little
I think if they made the
helmet.
helmet a little bit bigger, it would make the neck look not as long.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a human head is fitting in there.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
But I wonder if you can heat it up and maybe squeeze it. And make it a little longer. I don't know if that would help.
I don't know if that would work. Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody will have to test it out. Or maybe we can like swap the neck peg with something shorter. But the neck piece just looks incredibly long too.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? I'm still getting it though.
I'm still getting it because it's gonna look cool on the shelf either way.
And next up we have the Masters of Evil Amazon exclusive 3-pack. This includes the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader, which is the best one, the Grand Admiral Thrawn with Ysalamiri, and the such a random choice for Grievous, not the Episode 3 Grievous, but the Genndy Tartakovsky 2D Clone Wars colored.
That's such a weird
Grievous
one to put in there. Absolutely, I don't get it.
Yeah, and I really want that Darth Vader carded, but I don't want that Grievous, and I really don't want that Thrawn. Well, the Ysalamiri would be cool, but I'm getting the other Thrawn, so I don't care about it that much. I wish he had it in the show.
The cards look really sleek. Like they would look cool hanging on the wall.
Yeah, that's why I really want this Vader. I think Zooboy is getting this
Yeah.
3-pack, and he only wants it for the Thrawn.
Yeah.
And I think he said he'll sell me the Vader, but he needs to find somebody for the Grievous. So that's kind of my only avenue other than waiting for it to hit clearance. And if it hits clearance, I'll probably pick it up and try to offload the other two.
I'll probably pick it up and just hang. Like I don't mind having them, the ones I don't care about, hanging on the wall. But I don't know. Like I wouldn't have to open any of these. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Grievous is just such a weird choice.
That's kind of why I'm not buying them. Is like if I don't want to open them, why am I going to buy them? But then again, I also have all the credit collection on my wall for the same reason. So I don't know. I'm inconsistent.
I'm just obsessed with Darth Vader, and this is a Darth Vader, and it's a black and red carded Black Series packaging. It's just so unique that it's unfortunate they put this one in a 3-pack because I really want that Vader.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll get it one day. Another Masters of Evil set. The Amazon exclusive Masters of Evil Emperor Palpatine and Throne re-release. Well, I guess this technically a reissue, but also kind of a new release. It's new packaging, but same old Throne, same old Palpatine with updated photo reel. Are you getting this? I think you're getting this for the photo reel, right?
I have. Well, the other one was photo reel as well, but this one
will be updated. Yeah.
looks even more better apparently. I have it on pre-order, but I might cancel. I don't know. I just threw a pre-order down just because.
It's also still available too.
Yeah. I wasn't sure, I didn't know if it was going to sell out because I think on Amazon it was like over 7,000 sold already or whatever. And I was like, fine, I'll get it.
Yeah. I placed a pre-order and then I canceled it because I was like, do I really need another one just to like keep in the package or, or whatever. So
if they had this on the same kind of card, if it was just the figure, if it was just the Palpatine on that same card as the others, it would look really sick.
Could you imagine if they did the Palpatine and the Vader 2-pack in the card? I'd probably buy it then and then hang them on the wall.
If they did a 3-pack with the Return of the Jedi Luke, the Darth Vader, and this Palpatine.
What if they did? So we have the Masters of Evil pack and this red themed like trim here on the side and the red lettering.
Yeah.
What if they did like a Heroes of Good or whatever light side, whatever term you want to use, and they did like a green or a blue, like all black but green or blue writing, so we could get like Return of the Jedi Luke.
Yeah.
Or that'd be good. Easy repaints, probably easy money for them. So that would be kind of neat. You could have the Vader in the red.
People will be happy with you just giving Hasbro ideas for re-releasing stuff, but also I don't think Hasbro I don't think they haven't thought about stuff like that.
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
You know, I don't think this is like a new.
But also,
idea
like,
for them.
releasing a Luke Skywalker is never the worst thing. Like, we could get worse things. They could be making carbonized figures.
Sure.
Like, at least there's probably people that would buy it that don't have that figure yet. You know, like newer collectors. So it's not like they're just doing a credit collection or a carbonized. At least it's like you can still use these in universe. The Grievous is a little weird, but you could get this for a Vader and a Thrawn.
Well, kind of like how you said. I mean, it's never bad to have these figures released in the line. Like, there are always figures that are kind of evergreen, where there's always new people jumping into collecting, or the people that just want those main characters. And it's only good for them to be able to get them. Like, that's the whole point of like things like the A-list.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is the best Darth Vader in the line, like pure Darth Vader.
Sure.
It's the ESB one.
For now.
And it's only been released twice, the
Yep.
mural and the ESB carded one. So,
Yep.
you know, they need to get this Vader back in the line probably every couple years, in my opinion, because it's such a good one. It led off our Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame. That's how good that Darth Vader is. All right, moving on from the Masters of Evil Amazon exclusives to the Phantom Menace 3-pack Duel of the Fates. Well, I guess would this technically be... No, Obi-Wan didn't fight him on the desert.
Yeah, Obi-Wan didn't fight him on the desert.
Yeah, I was thinking since he's wearing his cloak, maybe it's technically the Tatooine battle. But I call this the Duel of the Fates 3-pack. You get Darth Maul that we talked about earlier
for sure.
with the soft goods. You get Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon with updated photo reel and soft goods robes. So pretty cool release, $74.99. So it's just $25 per figure. So they're not ripping you off or anything. And I think if you're a GameStop member, pro member, whatever they call it, you get it for like $67 or something.
Yeah, I got it. I got it for that price, and I think I used my like a $5 thing
reward
on it,
points
and then
or
whenever
something.
yeah. So I don't mind the price I paid for what I'm getting.
Yep, and I had this on pre-order. I'm still stuck on if I want to just get the single release Darth Maul, but I do really want that soft goods Darth Maul robe too.
Yeah, I mean, I have the one from the Bloodfin, but I want that to stay on the one with my Bloodfin.
Exactly, I'm not opening.
He
that
never
one,
didn't wear that robe when he was on the Bloodfin.
And like, also, maybe if I don't want the extra Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon, I can just sell the older ones for
sell them. Oh, for
$15 each or $20 each or something, and make a little bit
Easily.
back. So, yes, I'm still internally debating that, though I haven't come to a conclusion. And then the single release Darth Maul, I put this in here as well because it is an upcoming Black Series release. Not out yet.
And this also is the last figure that's in the next case.
Yep.
So in that case, 8 figures is Ahsoka, the Imperial Armored Commando, Darth Maul, Cassian Andor, Deidre. Apparently, I think Cassian Andor is on there twice as a mistake because I think that's too many figures. Then K2SO, and then Grand Admiral Thrawn.
It is kind of crazy how hard they've went on this new Darth Maul sculpt. Like, you'd think they'd want to space it out a little bit, but they're literally just back to back to back 3 releases of the Darth Maul, which I'm down for. You know, sure, go ahead.
Sure.
I hope they do this. If they release a new Anakin and a new Obi-Wan for Episode 3, I hope they do the same thing. Give us multiple ways to purchase it, and I'll probably buy it.
Yeah, there's never a problem with having multiple ways to purchase something. Like, no one's expecting you to buy them all, and the people that they're acting like Hasbro's forcing them to buy this figure 3 times. Like, they're not. They're like, no one's forcing you to buy it. I'm buying it twice because I like the Bloodfin, but I'm buying the second one because I want this version of the Darth Maul with the molded skirt. Like, if I were just happy with one of them, I wouldn't have to buy all of them. Like, that's weird. It's weird that people are like that.
Yeah, could you imagine if they did like a 2-pack with Obi-Wan and Anakin and like a little bit of Mustafar damage on them? That would feed families, man. It would cure. It would feed families, man, for years to come. Cancer would be cured. Well, probably not that far. That wouldn't happen. But peace in the Middle East. I'm telling you, it'll happen. It'll happen. It's up to Hasbro, and they just won't do it. All right. Next up, the next Phantom Menace figure. No, I skipped it.
You skipped it.
The Stat and Battle Droid, which came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yep.
And this is going to be available at PulseCon. It was revealed the day before. It was like the breakfast thing they do at SDCC or whatever.
Yep.
But we need more stuff like this in Black Series. I cannot wait. I plan on getting 2, maybe even another one. You never know if they're in stock. I might pick up a third, but at least 2 of these for sure.
I'm definitely at least getting 2 for sure. Yeah.
And then hopefully they do repaints. Like we can get the Clone Wars Anakin repaint, and throw him on it. So there's multiple things they can do with this, and we need more stuff like this in the Black Series. I do kind of wish or hope if we get another one, maybe they can give us some blast effects or a little like gel piece or like a little plastic rubber piece to fit in to those little engines there. To make it look like it's cool. Lit up. Like what is it? Do they light up pink right there in that little silver circle?
I think so.
Pink or yellow? I think pink sounds about right in the movie when they're like turned on and flying.
Sure.
So maybe like, Cubic 3D prints can create something to plug in there or a little blast effect to just peg onto these for another release. So hopefully we get that. And then moving on to the pipeline, we have, I'll just list them all out. So I don't have a picture on here for the Luke from A New Hope, which we've seen leaked, which will have all plastic goods, no soft goods. Leia from New Hope, hopefully no soft goods on that one. And then the Dagon Gera from Jedi Survivor, the guy who like timed or got frozen and all that, which
those are our oldest pipelines right now. They were pipelined on May 4th. So I would expect to see them revealed at PulseCon.
Or just kind of randomly on a random Thursday or a random Wednesday. They might do that.
But those are definitely going to be the next pipelines revealed, I would say.
Yep. And then, what they revealed at SDCC, Kel Naka, Moff Gideon, and in his dark, or what they call this his Dark Trooper armor, or is it his
Trooper armor?
Dark Trooper armor. His Praetorian Guard, Clone Wars live action Anakin from the Ahsoka show, Clone Wars live action Phase 1 Rex from the Ahsoka show, in Episode 3, Commander Bakara, the Commando droid from the Clone Wars, and Prince Caesar from Shadows of the Empire. Just an absolute fire pipeline reveal. And now that we have a Luke in the pipeline, a Leia in the pipeline that are going to be all new, I absolute cooking with gas the Black Series is right now.
Yeah, there's so much to look forward to in the future. When people are like, I don't think Hasbro's gonna continue the Black Series. Black Series getting canceled. I just don't see it. There's just so much good stuff coming out. There's so much to look forward to. How can you be angry at this? How can you be so down about this? What are you doing with your life where you have such a negative outlook? Where there's so much to look forward to.
Yeah, there's something for everybody. If you love Clone Wars, we're getting a Phase 1 Rex and Anakin, and we're getting the Commando droid. If you like, the Revenge of the Sith, we just got Darth Sidious, and we're getting the Commander Bakara, and there's rumors for the Anakin and the Obi-Wan that happened on our podcast. If you're a Shadows of the Empire fan, we're getting Caesar. If you like the the EU and all that, we got Malik and Malgus and the Bastilla Shan, I think was her name. If you love new media, the Dark Trooper Moff Gideon and Kel Naka. And if you're a big OT fan, we're getting Luke and Leia, new sculpts and all that. So there's something for everybody right now. And even these releases, a bunch of, we just got Hammerhead, which is, the only OT figure of the year, as far as new sculpts anyways.
True.
Because I guess the only other one would be the Vader, the Holocom Vader.
Yeah, I guess that technically is an OT.
But
yeah.
There's just something for everybody. So Black Series is on fire, and I think we have a lot to look forward to, and hopefully, by all accounts, 2025 is going to be a very strong year. 2024 has been excellent. 2025 is just going to be, even better, I think.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things about people that know of the future and they say 2025 is going to be absolutely crazy in terms of Black Series figures.
Yeah, and like the fact that we're starting to get small vehicles back. Hopefully that's a sign of what's to come. Hopefully we can get more.
I hope that whatever numbers Hasbro wants them to hit, they hit. Like I can only do so much myself, I bought a Bloodfin.
You didn't buy the entire stock, Mike.
No, I didn't buy
Way
the
to go.
entire
You're a fake fan, fake collector.
Fan, yeah. Wait, was it? Hold on. There wasn't. Where was it? Where we were reading or someone was like, I'm a super collector. I've spent like
$25,000 a year on Star Wars toys.
Star Wars toys. I was on I was on a Discord or someone's comments or something. I'm like, what? How? like how?
Listen, if I don't care how much money you make, you have to have Elon Musk money to justify that much on Star Wars toys a year. $25K a year.
I feel
that's
like
insane.
I just like you need different hobbies or something. I don't know, man. That's too much. Like I love Star Wars and I've got a huge collection and I'm sitting in a room full of toys. That's too much.
Yeah, like you could have Elon Musk money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want $25,000 worth of figures in my house a year. That's too many because how many stormtroopers I would have? You would have a room full of
it's crazy.
Stormtroopers, But hey, maybe a room full of 501st troopers following Anakin into the Jedi Temple 3D print.
All the people that are proud, like I've bought the same figure 100 times. You're like, but why? Why?
That person, I think in that post, they specifically said Hasbro Star Wars.
It wasn't even like Hot Toys.
So that's like
specifically Hasbro Star Wars. Yeah.
If you're making $1 million a year or whatever, and you're buying those like sideshow life size Darth Vaders that are like $8,000, like sure, whatever.
Sure.
For your home theater, because I'm sure you have a home theater.
For sure.
Like that'd be sick. Of course, I'd probably do that if I were making Elon Musk money.
Right.
But Hasbro Star Wars. You couldn't. You couldn't do it.
Goofy. You're getting goofy.
It's crazy. It's absurd. $25K a year in Hasbro Star Wars. Like, how many HasLabs are you buying? You know what I mean? Like 5 of each, or like 20 of each.
I could buy 5, so I bought 5 of those 5.
Yeah, and then you got to create your use your cousin's account to buy another 5.
Right.
Like, Jesus, man, that was wild. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot all about that. But no, us on this podcast, we do not have $25K a year to spend only on Star Wars toys.
Well, even if I did, I feel like there's,
I wouldn't. Even if I could, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Yeah, like it's
maybe that's what we just say now. Maybe that's what we say until we have it.
No, it's all about moderation and I just don't think anything should consume that much of your life, your time. And I already feel guilty about how much time I spend with toys just doing podcasts and YouTube and collecting. But like, that's my hobby. All my friends are into it. So it's just kind of a natural thing. But like to that level, that's like more than just a hobby. That's like your entire life. Like how do you
that's almost like a mental thing at that point.
Exactly. Like that's like whatever you're doing, whatever kind of hole you have in your life that you're shoveling Star Wars figures into to try to fill, like you need therapy is what you need.
Call my wife, she'll help.
Yeah, just like, man, get the help you need and I hope you get it.
Yeah, that's at that level. You're just buying stuff.
You're just you just have stuff. Well, exactly.
Addicted to clicking buy now.
I hate getting a whole wave of figures in because I feel like I just can't enjoy the figures because there's too much at one time.
Yeah, and sometimes as collectors, it is kind of hard we've talked about this before on the show where we kind of have to try to focus on appreciating what we have rather than always looking forward to what's coming next. What's coming
that treadmill.
next.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the treadmill, constant flow of figures coming in. So whenever you have these dead periods, it is important to try to appreciate the figures that are on your shelf. Like, take a look.
Exactly.
I try to grab, like, that's why I really like doing the TikToks I do, where I grab, here's 3 figures that I really love in my collection, or here's 3 figures you need, because it makes me grab figures that I haven't looked at or talked about in a long time.
Right.
3 figures you wouldn't expect anybody to have. I do videos like that, so it gives me an opportunity to interact with figures I haven't touched in 2 years.
Or like 3 figures I forget that I own, or that I forget.
I just did one, like 3 figures I'll never take out of the packaging, and it gave me an opportunity to mess around with the Droids Boba Fett and the 2-pack, the concept 2-pack, and I forget the other one I did, but just figures like that, where it's like I haven't looked at them in a long time, and it's just nice to appreciate what I currently have rather than always, looking at the pipeline or what we just did, which is every figure coming out soon. So I think it is important for collectors to take a moment, look at your shelf, appreciate what you have. And that's probably a good note to end the podcast on.
Sure.
So do you have, I guess that's going to be it for Black Series Cantina episode 78. Hopefully we ended it on a nice positive note there. Mike, do you have any upcoming videos you're working on, or where can any new listeners find you on the socials?
Yeah, I mean, I am working on videos. I really do just need to stop playing video games for a little bit and record this Hammerhead. And I'm currently writing a script for Darth Sidious here, and that's going to be kind of fun to do. I did just recently change my Instagram handle. I'm now just Mike.case. I just felt like I wanted something more in line with the rest of my social media, and just instead of just random trusty sidekick and then everything else is the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same content. So I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Threads, I'm on TikTok. Just Mike Case. You'll find me.
Yep. You'll find him there. So be sure to follow Mike everywhere you can. You can find me on TikTok as well at the Star Wars Black Series. This past weekend, I had 2 videos absolutely blow up, which was very nice. The video I did on the Yoda 2-pack got 27,000 views, and I did another one after that. It was a video where 3 figures that I'll never open that got over 30,000 views. So the TikTok's been on fire lately, which is amazing. So go follow me there. I would really appreciate it. I just hit 21,000 on there, which is very nice. And if my videos do pop up on your FY or your For You page, be sure you watch for at least 5 seconds, please. That goes a long way and helps me out. Follow me on Instagram. That's at blackseriescantina. Join our Facebook group. That's probably where you'll get the most updates for the podcast. And if you follow me on Instagram, Black Series Cantina, that's where I'll post, when the show goes live, and I'll make a little graphic letting everybody know. But yeah, join the Facebook group, Black Series Cantina. Join us on Patreon if you would like to give back to the podcast in any way you can. We would really appreciate it. If you cannot support us financially, it would be a very big help to leave a review. I've actually been reading the reviews of the podcast lately, and some of them are pretty funny. And most of them are really amazing. There are a couple funny ones in there.
There are a couple funny ones.
But we have a very high rating on Apple, which is very nice to see. Yeah. So if you can't support us financially, please leave a review. Buy our merch if you wish to do so. We have hoodies, we have mugs, cups, anything you can think of. It's on Teespring/Black Series Cantina, I believe. Follow us on Twitter at TBS Cantina. We don't use that one as much. I'm not much of a Twitter user other than my personal account where I'm just reading sports stuff. I need to remember to get on there and post more. And then keep the email segment alive, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. But we hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, we'll be back in 2 weeks to record for you and cover some more Black Series news and rumors.
Hopefully there'll be something fun to talk about then. Who knows? But it'll be fun to talk about either way, because toys are fun, and they should be fun, and you should be having fun with them. There should never be a job. They should never be a chore. And if they are, move on to something else. Anyway,
And it's okay to take a break for a little bit too.
It's okay. It's okay.
So you can get burnt out from toys a little bit.
Absolutely.
Lately,
We all do.
honestly,
Yeah.
I don't want to dive into it too much, but lately I felt a little burnt out. That's so it's been nice to kind of separate
happens.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But doing the podcast always brings me like right back in. It's sometimes
fun.
what I need.
That's right. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye.